This is the time where all the games matter. All the chips are on the table. Every quarter, every period, every minute, every second matters. This is the playoff season for the NBA, the NHL. One team advances, the other team goes home. Who will advance to the next set of rounds in these playoffs? Who will rise to the occasion when the pressure heightens? Who will not give in? Every quarter, every period, every minute, every single second matters now. No games are off as we have now entered the playoff season for the NBA and the NHL. In the opening round of the Eastern Conference Series in the NBA playoffs between the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets, Brooklyn soundly defeated, destroyed the Celtics in the first two games. Now that the series shifts to Boston for game number 3, can Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics get back in the series? Can the Celtics stop the Big Three's momentum? In the Western Conference opening round series between the Phoenix Suns and the defending champions, the Los Angeles Lakers, Phoenix gave Los Angeles an early wake-up call in game number 1, defeating the Lakers. In game number 2, LeBron James and Anthony Davis helped the Los Angeles Lakers, winning game number 2, tying the series at a game apiece. Now that the series shifts to Los Angeles, will the defending champions hold serve on their home court? In the NHL, Carolina leads their series against Nashville 3-2 tonight. It is a pivotal game number 6 for the Predators. Can the Predators tie the series at 3 games apiece against the Hurricanes and sending it to a pivotal winner-take-all game number 7? And who won Wednesday night's game 6 between the New York Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins? Did Pittsburgh tie the series at 3 games apiece, or did the Islanders advance? Like I said, every game matters now. The nation speaks to you. Next. From the gridiron to the court, talking all that is sport. Members of the Busted Up Nation bring to you our Nation Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Jon Blayne, Kevin Statman McDonough, Ezra Vickery, and Stephen Wyand.
Good evening, everybody. How in the hell are we doing? Yes, you are hearing my voice. I am back. After a 2-week hiatus for, various reasons, I am back. I am in the big boy chair, and I'm back to do what I love to do. And that's talk sport. Screw you.
Start off hot.
Yes.
But, guys,
and we're going to cross that one off the list. Piss John off, 7 p.m. Got it.
But guys, yes, this is the Our Nation Sports Show. We are live on YouTube tonight. We are live, you name it. You can find us on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just type in Our Nation Sports Show. You will find us there. As you see, the usual crew is back. So let me go to it right now. Out in the Midwest, he just woke up 5 minutes ago after with the show from last week, he finally woke up, and that's Sleepy McGee. Ezra, what's going on?
Yeah, it's doing good, man. I got plenty of sleep, and also it's another day, another glorious day. You get to be not so pissed off because Cam did not go to the New York Giants. So there's still hope yet for you to be so pissed off that you throw more water bottles in the air that Bully Ray throws napkins.
Exactly. Now, let me go to the guy who is going to piss me off tonight. I know he will. Kevin McDonald. Kevin, what's going on?
Oh, not too much. Just, another fantastic offering tonight on the show. Hopefully we get some good YouTube comments. Hopefully we get some good stuff from people on Discord. And hopefully we get some good interaction on Twitter. We're at 59 subscribers on YouTube. Come on, guys. We need math number more subscribers. Can't do math right now.
41.
41. Thank you. Thank you for the math. I blame my high school for not teaching me math.
And you just heard him before doing our own show. That's Stephen Wyand. And Stephen, what's going on?
What's going on, man? Let's talk some sports, man. It's been a great week, man. And NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs are getting underway. A lot's going on in sports. Let's go.
Absolutely. One thing I do want to mention, I know we've been promoting this on all of our social media accounts, but at the end of the show tonight, there will be a major announcement being made. I'm going to ignore that comment because I know my team's going to beat his team this weekend in the NHL playoffs, but I digress.
The only time that your team will beat my team in the playoffs is when you're playing NHL 21.
Yeah, keep eating your clam chowder there, Statman.
No, you need to go and call it what you called it to me when I first joined in this crazy stuff. Go ahead, say it.
New England clam chowder.
No, Ezra Steven, what did he call it?
Clam chowder.
No, Steven.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one.
Surrounded by idiots.
But guys, like I said before, there will be a major announcement being made at the end of the show tonight. You are not going to want to miss that because this will be our big kaboom, to say the least.
Don't overpromise.
I'm not overpromising, but
yeah. Calm down yourself there, Tony Khan.
No, if I was Tony Khan, I'd tell you guys, by the way, we're going to have 12 main events, 36 title changes. And, I don't even want to get into that part because this is not a wrestling show. This is a sports show. But guys,
talk sports, not that fake fighting stuff. Talk sports. Sports.
Oh, great. I'm surrounded by 3 people who are going to drive me nuts.
I think the coffee's finally working its way through my system. It's fun.
Yeah, I'll be needing to go get that heavy drink tonight. But I digress. NHL playoffs right now. One series is confirmed for round 2. My Islanders are going to be taking on Kevin's Bruins. Round 2, game 1 is Saturday night. But we're not going to go there so fast. Let's start out in the West Coast. And Kevin, I want to throw this to you first, since you are the hockey guru on the show. Colorado advanced. Colorado and Winnipeg both advanced to the second round. You were saying earlier in our pre-show meeting, you said Colorado didn't surprise you, but you said Winnipeg did. Why Winnipeg advanced and surprised you?
I think just because of the talent level that's on Edmonton. They've got Nate McKinnon. They have I can't remember his name, and that's Connor McDavid. There we go. Those 2 guys right there. Oh, sorry, not Nate McKinnon. Hang on, give me a second. The coffee is doing wonders for me at the moment.
And as
not
well
what
as
I intended it to do.
There we go.
Yeah.
So with the Oilers, all that talent level being a higher seed, and in the NHL playoffs, seeding really doesn't matter because it's a totally brand new game. It's not like in the NBA and a little bit in the NFL where your seeding doesn't really matter. Be the number one team, you're gonna win. Let me get to the roster. Jeopardy theme music starts playing in my head as I'm trying to find this thing. That's what I was hoping because we had about 2 seconds too long of dead air. I'm like, that.
Okay.
All right, I got it.
You got it?
Yep. All right. So, not Nate McKinnon because I'm an idiot.
You said it.
Yeah, no, I will fully admit I'm an idiot.
Oh, I'm sorry. That must be in the form of a question.
Okay, what is shut up? So, Leon, I'm gonna butcher this last name. Draisaitl. No, not Leon Ruff. Sports.
Go. I'm busting chops.
Tyler Enos, Connor McDavid,
What did you just say?
Ryan McLeod, Ryan Enos, Ennis.
Oh.
Yes, I know what it sounds like. It's not that. Ryan Nugent Hopkins. I mean,
come on, this is a family show.
9 minutes into the show already off the rails.
Man, I wish I had a telestrator. I would go and type it out.
9 minutes into the show already off the rails.
It was bound to happen.
Welcome to the sports show, everybody.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
What else?
But with all the talent that they have on defense and on offense, and the fact that they got swept out and convincingly swept out.
Hold on.
It's a bit of a shock.
There's an easier way to get swept out when you lose 4-0.
Well, if it's bad puck bounces, puck luck.
I know.
If puck luck all of a sudden it's a bad bounce here or there, but you've been playing them tight the entire series, that sucks to be swept. But puck luck was not on your side. In this one, no, it pretty much puck luck wasn't even a factor.
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
Most Toronto Maple Leaf series or Islanders games.
Shut up, Kevin.
Nationwide is on your side.
Hey. What? All right, can we get back?
Oh, there's tonight's earworm. All right, get back to it.
Yes.
Gotta get out all these oh my god, let's go and make funny comments. Okay, it's out. So Colorado moving on. They await the winner of the Vegas Golden Knights and Minnesota Wild series that is currently tied up at 3 games apiece. They're going to play tomorrow night. The other games that are on tap, like Steven said in the intro tonight, is currently what has just started, 25 seconds in, Toronto hosting the Montreal Canadiens. In Game 5, Toronto leading that series 3-1. And the other game at 9:30 with a puck drop at 9:41 because the NHL is like MLB. The game starts at 7, but really first pitch is 7:07. Carolina leads that series 3-2. It's Game 6 tonight. It is being played in Nashville, so there is every possibility that we'll have a second Game 7. Nashville's crowd is a very, very hot crowd. I love watching Nashville hockey games, especially in the playoffs. And it's just we got 2 great hockey games tonight, and then we're probably going to have an excellent game tomorrow night.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow night is Vegas and the Wild, right?
Yep. Had you been paying attention not 2 minutes ago, you would have heard me say that.
I know. I was just reiterating it for people who may have just joined us.
Well, why weren't they here at 7 o'clock? Come on,
Because
guys.
maybe they
program.
Maybe they were having White Castle.
Hopefully, it's a better experience than you have in White Castle, John.
Wow. 10 minutes in. Shots are being fired tonight.
Wait, hold on. When did Adnan Virk join our show?
Oh, wow.
Whoa!
Oh, wait, don't worry. He just got released.
But tonight it is a pivotal game 6 for Nashville. Like, man,
Mhm.
that game against Carolina, man, knowing Nashville, knowing those fans, man, they're going to show up and they're going to be loud and proud for their hockey team.
Well, here's my other thing though, because Nashville ties it up. You got when would Game 7 be then? Tomorrow?
Game 7 would be on
Friday?
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
It would be on Saturday. The other game, depending on the outcome tonight in Toronto, Montreal, would also be on Saturday. Their Game 6.
Okay, but this is my thing though. Do you want to have a Tampa Bay team? Well, if I'm Nashville, think about it this way. When you win tonight, you win Saturday, you're having a Tampa Bay team that's been sitting for a couple of days.
So that's the one thing that I will go and say, is it depends upon the makeup of the team. Tampa Bay, they could, like, you could go and say, oh, no, Tampa Bay has a ton of talent. They should be able to go and win game 1 because the other team has been playing and they didn't have any rest. But at the other end of the spectrum is Tampa could absolutely lose that first game because the team who played Game 7 just played a couple of days prior. Tampa's had some rest. Same thing could be said about the Bruins in Game 1. They could lose that first game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That does not mean that you get to have a big head about it, bigger than you already have.
Really?
14 minutes.
Really?
Look, I gotta simmer you down here, all right? So, no, Boston could absolutely lose that first game because they haven't played since Sunday.
No, I'm saying Tampa.
No, I know, but I'm also talking the same thing with Boston where they've had a lot of rest.
Oh, yeah.
Tampa played on, when was that? That was Tuesday that they won.
Yeah, they won that series 4-2 over somebody. I don't remember who now. Florida.
Yep.
But my thing is this: so you look at that Tampa Bay team. Their last game was Wednesday. Actually, Wednesday they won 4-0 in Game 6.
Oh, so that was that was last night. I thought that was Tuesday.
Yeah, but my thing is this though. If you look at the Nashville series and it goes to a Game 7, realistically, Tampa Bay may not be playing till at the earliest next Tuesday or Wednesday. Then they wouldn't have them play Sunday.
No, they would not go and do that. The earliest that you could see
maybe Monday.
Nashville or Carolina playing Tampa Bay would probably be Monday.
But this is my thing though. You're sitting. Obviously, yes, I know they're going to be practicing, but practice and being in a live game setting are two totally different things. Is Tampa Bay going to have that rust in them because of the fact they didn't play for almost a week?
Well, sorry, Kevin, but I was going to say it really depends on the makeup of the team. The team itself, sometimes rest could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. The rest could be a good thing because it could help your team heal up any nagging injuries that they may have, get some players back that have been out for a little bit. But it's also a detriment because you're sitting there, you're not playing games, you're not being super physical, so you're not getting loose. There's a whole big difference between practice and actually playing the game. Same thing in MMA, same thing in football. You could be on the field, you could be in the cage as much as you want. But when it comes to actual play, it is a totally different beast.
Absolutely.
So that's the only thing is will this be something positive or will it be negative for Tampa Bay? That's going to be the big question heading into this next series.
Right.
Well, my thing is this: if I'm Nashville, you almost want to have that because you're going to be carrying the momentum from your first series.
Yeah.
And believe me, you're
You
Nashville.
can carry the momentum over, but it might not always carry over. Like you could think like, oh, we just went and played. We're going to be a little, we're and going to be in a better spot than the other team because they've been resting for too long.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they also, that other team that rested, their star players could have not played all that well in the first series because they had a nagging injury that now with this week
Right.
of rest, they're going, ooh, I feel a lot better now. And
yeah.
now their team is firing on all cylinders.
Exactly.
Like you guys are saying, I mean, it's like not just in hockey, but also in basketball as well. If you sweep a series or if you beat a team in 5 and there's another series going on with 6-7 games, yeah, it might be, beneficial for a team that has rest to beat up on a team that just got through it a 7-game grueling series, but not so the case because when you are resting at such a long period of time, it really can affect your play because you haven't played in such a while. But at the same time, you can have no rest at all or whatever and still play, but it also comes down to how well did the team study on your team's matchups and their star players, their defensive schemes, and et cetera, and all that.
Yeah.
Look at previous basketball matchups. They go to game 7s. You see these game 7 matchups, and then they go to the next round. Next thing you know, the team itself is tired, and their players are have injuries that are not healed. They
Yes.
go out there and they have piss poor performances, and either get swept or lose the series very quickly. So, but then also they could be loose, limber, and ready to go.
Yep.
And have a better scoring night in some cases than the team that's been sitting for 4, 5, 6 days, and has every player well rested and any injuries healed up. So it's like I said, it's a wait and see process on how the series is going to go when it happens later next week.
And it's like I said in the intro at the start of the show, it really comes down to what team, if they go through a grueling 7-game series season in the playoffs, do they have the willpower within them to pick themselves up and say, hey, I'm not going to let this grueling series of games affect our play. Because at the end of the day, we need to win that championship. And I mean, the Boston Celtics in 2008 played 2 Game 7 series against the Hawks and the Cavaliers, and then they faced the Pistons. And people thought that, can Boston still play good after having those 2 grueling series in 2008 against the Hawks and the Cavaliers, taking them to the distance? Well, they beat the Pistons in 6, and then they beat the Lakers in 6. And but it really depends on how the team, how they match up, how well they do their studying, how they, all that stuff. It's a lot of layers to the puzzle that need to be solved.
But
yeah,
Steven, not to cut you off there, but we're sitting here saying, Tampa Bay is going to be resting for probably a good week. Look on the flip side. Look at a team like Nashville, who's if they win tonight, Game 7 will be Saturday, which means they're going to have probably 3 days off, probably 2 days off and 1 day for travel.
Yep.
So realistically, is having too much time off a good thing, or is having too little time off a good thing?
That's a very interesting question.
Double-edged sword, kind of, in a sense, because having too much time off means you're not loose and limber, you're not out there, like I said, but then not having enough time off means that you can't heal those nagging injuries that you sustained during the previous series.
Exactly.
So that's why I
on
see
the other side of it.
Yeah.
On the other side of it, playing a 7-game series could go and hurt you on that end because you just played a grueling 7 games against one opponent. But it also could give you all the momentum in the world because you've continued to play while the other team has been sitting at home and practicing and working out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And practicing and working out, it's not the same as playing in a game.
Because when you're playing in a game and practicing, like Kevin just said, it is a different beast. Just like with me being in the band, I can sit there and practice all day long by myself. But when you're in a room with your bandmates, it is a whole different animal. Timing is everything.
Yeah, exactly. But there is one series I do want to get to. And that was, some people are saying it's a shocker. I personally do not think it's a surprise. And that's my New York Islanders kicking Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins out of the playoffs. Sorry, Deb. I'm sorry. This
He's
team,
not.
I'm not. I'm sorry.
Hey,
This,
we can agree on something.
yeah, exactly. This Islanders team, I don't care what anybody says. With Barzal, with Bailey, Sorkin in the net, this team is good. And I know, Kevin, I know you and I were kind of butting heads earlier in the pre-show about, our upcoming series. I'll be the first one to say it. Boston is going to be our toughest opponent. Because you made the comment earlier, in the pre-show stuff, when you're going to have a full capacity crowd at TD Garden Saturday night. And people forget the crowd plays a huge role in games. I mean, how many times has all of a sudden somebody... Thanks, Shelfie.
Jofi, what's up, brother?
How many
Shelfie.
times have we seen whatchamacallit in like the NFL when you have a team playing in Arrowhead Stadium or where Seattle plays?
Seattle, yes.
And all of a sudden one play is supposed to go one way, but because all of a sudden they can't hear because the crowd starts to get in it.
Exactly.
All of a sudden that's going to
I
play. But
remember
I have
watching Packers back in the day when the Vikings played in the Metrodome, and you'd have Brett Favre on the sideline or like doing one of these, trying to go and hear what he's trying to get the play for.
Yeah.
And he can't hear because the crowd is loud.
But my thing is this though, with Trotz as the head coach, he is going to have this team set and ready to go. You also got to remember, Islanders are coming into this thing winning the last 3 games of the series.
Yep.
Against Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
like we were saying before with Nashville, the Islanders are kind of riding in on a hot momentum right now. Or coming in kind of hot right now. When you're able to, I just pulled it up. They won game 4, 4-1, game 5, 3-2, game 6, 3-5. After losing game 2 and 3, that really swings the momentum.
Yeah, the Bruins also have a good amount of momentum with their series because after losing in overtime in game 1, they ripped off 4 straight.
Yep.
And they also were convincing in those last 2 games, especially that game 4 performance where they won 4-1.
Okay, but here's my only thing though. Kevin, we were saying before about teams. Is it too much time off? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Game 5 for you guys was Sunday.
Yeah, no, you're right. Game 5 was Sunday. However, I think in this case, it probably will benefit the Bruins to have a little bit of extra time because Pasta was definitely banged up. We put I keep doing the we. I'm not a member of the Boston Bruins. The Bruins played a very physical team in Washington. They were definitely very much bruisers. We were able to best them. Our defense stood up against their defense. I wasn't doing a show at the time, but I will take the L on Chara. I saw how Chara played in that first round series, and I when he signed with Washington, I was apoplectic. Why would they go and let him go? The Bruins should have gone and just signed him for a year or 2. He still wants to go and play. Now I see what the Bruins front office saw, what player personnel saw. I went, oh, yeah, I'll take the L on this one. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Apparently.
You're good. But my thing is this, though. You guys played a Washington team that, let's be honest, Washington is not the same team they were 2 or 3 years ago.
No. Well, this is the 3rd straight first-round exit since they won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. To me, the Islanders, and I mean, Kevin, you can't overestimate the Islanders or underestimate the Islanders.
Oh, no. I am not the type of person who underestimates. In 2019, when the Bruins won the Cup run that St. Louis eventually won, I did not sleep on Carolina. I'm like going, oh no, 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 no. I'm not sleeping on Carolina. As much as they were, I think, the 7 or 8 seed,
Mhm.
I wasn't. No, they made
I
it to the
mean,
Eastern Conference Final.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry. That means they're good. And
I mean,
look at
you
them
made the
now.
comment before about how TD Garden's going to be rocking in
Mhm.
game one.
And I'm
You
sure in
guys,
game 3 and 4, the Nassau Coliseum will be just as rocking if they're at full
oh,
capacity.
oh yeah. And here's the thing, I'm just pulling up right now the preview for the series. You also got to remember, you have on the Islanders, Bailey had 3 goals in that first series.
Mhm.
A couple of them were game winners. So he's going to be the one guy you definitely want to watch out for. He also had 6 points. And I think, Kevin, I think for your Bruins there, I think if you guys can make him a non-factor, and then I think on the flip side, if we can make what's his face? Marchard, probably
Marchand or
Marchand.
Marchand.
Yeah,
Marchand
Marchand.
or Marchand, and everybody goes and pronounces it differently because Boston, we do things different.
Yeah. We have to I say we. Like I'm part of the
Watching that fuse get lit, and it's heading towards the end of that bomb right now.
The Islanders have to make him a non-factor.
And by the way, John, you're about. And by the way, like I said in the YouTube chat, you're about as savage as a Care Bear near a field of daisies.
Yeah, Ezra. No. Let's move it. Let's move it along.
Wow,
Let's
that's bold.
let's move. Why? Wait.
So,
What is it? I'm
John,
not here for 2 weeks. Hold on, Kevin. We'll get back to the Boston Islander thing 1 second. What is I'm here? I'm not here for 2 weeks, so all the shots have to be fired.
Yeah, like Cam going to the Giants.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
Here's the thing. You don't want to empty out too early, if you get my drift.
Yes.
Let's move on.
there's other people who know about that, but we'll leave that. That's for another show.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Moving
I'm
back. Moving back.
glad I didn't hear that one.
Moving back to
my
hockey.
God. Oh,
Next.
Well then,
Moving on.
wow.
I'm just gonna be like my favorite baseball player and move on here. So, John, I'm not underestimating the Islanders at all. I would never go in. Like I said, I never underestimated Carolina. I've never underestimated.
Kevin,
some
did
of
you see your
the-
friend Heather's comment on YouTube
No, I have not. Don't interrupt me. I'm on a roll.
with butter or cream cheese?
But
Let's
Go
move
why would
ahead,
I
on.
put
Go
cream
ahead, Kevin.
cheese on a roll?
Let's move on. Hey, cream cheese on a roll is good.
Please do not get into food discussion right now, please.
Why not? Ezra, why not? Why can't we talk about food?
Number one, I am a fat man. Number two, I might get
Moving on.
hungry.
Continue, Kevin.
Okay.
You realize
Yeah,
we've been
fair.
talking hockey for the last 31 minutes, so
Well, okay, we've been talking hockey for probably 20 of those minutes, and the other 11 have been bashing you.
yeah, exactly.
All right. Anyway, so no, I'm not going to ever underestimate a team in hockey because you never know what'll happen. A team can get hot. I really do think Philadelphia Flyers 2010. That's a team that should not have made the Stanley Cup final at all, and they did, and they got real hot. With that said, now you know what? I'm not going to say any predictions because the last time I did, I picked the Atlanta Braves to win the World Series this year, and they're currently in third place in the NL East at 24-25.
It's not even Memorial Day weekend yet, so
Yeah, but I still feel like I'm a mush when it comes to that, so I'm not saying a word. And I'm just a mush in general when it comes to predicting stuff.
I'll make my prediction right now. Islanders in 7.
You know what? I'm going to make my prediction too because I'm a mush. Islanders in 6.
I'm going 7. It's going to be a knockout, drag them out.
Oh, you're
type-
picking against your own hockey team. Okay.
I'm picking against my own hockey team because then that means the Bruins will win.
No.
Oh,
I'm picking
I see.
Reverse psychology. I like that.
I like it.
I'm picking the Islanders because let's call a spade here for a second. You got a team on a freaking hot momentum like they are, with Bailey, in the lead on the boat and being the captain of the boat.
Mhm.
You're good. And also, let's also look at it this way. Sorkin right now is 4-0 with a 1 point, has allowed basically less than 2 goals per game.
And also, too, don't forget that crowd in Boston.
The crowd's going to play
that
huge
crowd.
role.
The Islanders may have been doing really well right now, which they may still do in the next series. But at the same time, when you got a hot TD Garden Boston crowd, oh man, they are looking forward, chomping at the freaking bit, ready to scream on for their Bruins team, man. Like, that crowd is gonna make some noise.
Yeah, I just want to send a quick shout out to Tony, greatest truck driver, who's now in the YouTube chat. Just so
Hey, yo.
But
What up,
Got it.
Tony?
Okay.
What's going on, brother?
Hang on. Would like to go and point out Tuukka Rask. He is 4-1 so far in the 5 games he started. He has 10 goals against. He has saved 159 of 169 shots for a 9.41 save percentage and a 1.81 goals against average.
okay, but Kevin, here's my thing. Realistically, you guys just got past Washington. Who was
Mhm.
doing most of their scoring?
It was mainly third and fourth line guys
Okay.
because the Boston Bruins defense was able to neutralize the other two, and I theorize that Tom Wilson, who we know is scumbag talented.
Your favorite player.
Oh, absolutely. He is exactly the type of player I'd love to have on the Bruins, and I would defend him to the day because, well, I'm not playing against him. The same thing with Marchand. If he played for any other team and I saw his antics, I'd want his head on a silver platter because, oh, no, you don't do that to my team. But he plays for my team, so no, he gets to do that to your team. So anyway, I think that Tom Wilson couldn't go and do everything that he usually does in a series because he was being watched.
Yeah.
Especially the refs had a firm grasp of that series. The only game that they didn't really have that great of a grasp was Game 4. I think they got way too chippy. But other than that, I mean, yeah, we caught them in a bad goalie situation, and we caught them where their first 2 lines played like crap.
Yeah.
It's still the Washington Capitals. It's still a very good hockey team. So I'm not going to go and say like, oh, the Islanders are the better team and all that. No, I firmly expect the Bruins to go and beat the Islanders. Do I think it'll be 4 or 5 games? No, it'll be 6 or 7.
Oh yeah, it's good. Like I said before, it's going to be a knockdown, drag them out type of thing.
And I think it's going to be one of those series where each team steals one on the road. So the Islanders could win Game 1, and the Bruins could go and win Game 4. And then at that point, it's a best of 3. And it becomes the most fun.
Well, here's my thing. Game 1 is in, was it Game 1 and 2 is in TD, 3 and 4 is back on the island?
It goes 2 in Boston, 2 in Long Island, and then 1, 1, 1. And it ends in Boston if it's Game 7, since they have home
Okay.
ice.
I think the Islanders, if the Islanders can take, if Boston, I'll put it to you this much. If Boston goes up 2-0 and the Islanders are coming back to Long Island, Islanders have their back against the wall. Because then I'm going to say this right now, Game 3 is must win.
Oh, yeah, Game 3 would definitely be a must win.
If the Islanders can take one of the games up in Boston, then you got a much different series on your hand. I think if I'm the Islanders, you split up in Boston, come back to the island up 1, tied 1-1, split it in New York, which would then put it at 2 games each. And realistically, I mean, think about it. That's when then I think the series comes interesting, is once you get to that game 5.
Yes.
And I'll be happy if we can split both in TD and at the Nassau Coliseum. That's, I think, the best way. I think the best way for this series to get interested is you split either game 1 or 2 up in Boston. You guys take a game from us at the Nassau Coliseum, and then it's basically winner take all at that point. And here's my thing. You look at a team like the Islanders, they're a young team right now. The way the Islanders are playing and the way Trotz has this team going, I don't want anybody to think the Islanders that this could be like a one and done type of thing. Because I will say this right now, the Islanders are going to be a team you're going to not want to mess with for years to come. Because especially you got Bailey, you got Barzal, you got these guys in, and they're buying into the system right now with Trotz. It's going to be an interesting series to see how it all plays out. But as we just heard, my prediction is Islanders in 7. Kevin's going to go with Islanders in 6. Ezra, what about you?
I'm going to go with Kevin on this one.
I know.
He's reverse psychology. It's all part of it. I know that trick. I've said that before with Blackhawks games all the time, man. But no, I'm gonna go with Islanders in 7. I'm actually gonna go with you, John. It's gonna be a close game. I think each game is gonna be really close. I think there's gonna be no blowouts. Each game's gonna be super, super competitive. I think it's gonna come down to that last goal with just a few minutes left. And it's gonna be a tough contest. I'm gonna go with the Islanders just because yes, they have been on a roll, but the Bruins, I'm not counting them out by any stretch of the imagination.
Absolutely not.
If the Bruins win, if either team wins, I'll be happy because Boston will be able to get further on, and New York will finally be able to do something unlike the Knicks half the time.
Or like your Bears or Blackhawks, but I digress.
Hey, John, I wouldn't go and say anything about the Blackhawks. They've done a hell of a lot more than your Islanders have in any time period.
It's true.
Especially in the past 11 years.
Yep.
Okay.
And don't bring up the 80s dominance that the Islanders had in the early part of the decade.
No. Hold on.
It's the same thing as Yankee fans going, 27 rings. Oh, 27 rings. Yeah, how many did you see? Did you go and see the ones in the 20s? Did you see the ones that Babe Ruth won?
Okay, hold on.
Or are you only counting the ones that the early Yankees in 2009? Because remember, 2009 is the last time the Yankees won the World Series and have actually played in the World Series itself.
Hold on, but Kevin, here's the big thing though. At least I can sit there and say my team. At least I can sit there and say my football team has won a Super Bowl compared to his Bears team, who hasn't been to the Super Bowl, in a number of years.
Who's your football team again?
The Giants.
The team that had the quarterback get tackled by a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. Chicago.
Hold on. But you guys have a quarterback that dresses like a woman. So
my quarterback was the king.
Are you saying something negative against people who dress like that?
No, I don't.
Are you trying to be bigoted, good sir?
No, I'm not.
It is the year of our Lord 2021. We do not judge people for what they decide to go wear.
Okay.
Hey, Steven dresses like a woman on stage. He looks like a bearded version of the girl from The Ring.
Oh my! Holy shit! Oh my!
Oh boy!
Wow. If we're not taking off of YouTube tonight, I'll be shocked.
Oh no! These are family friendly compared to the other jokes I have. Trust me on that.
Can it?
Oh my!
Can it? Can it?
Oh no! I'm saving those jokes for off air. Trust me.
Oh my!
I know my standards and practices very well on this channel.
Oh, I don't even know where to go now.
By the way, we have no standards and practice.
I was gonna say What?
Yeah, wait, but standards
but
and
Sari,
practices, that went out the door a long time
but-
ago.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
Steven. I threw enough shots at John. I had to throw one at you.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I have to divvy it up between everybody.
Yeah, my prediction, Bruins in 7.
Ooh,
Interesting.
Love it.
interessante.
Love it.
You want to?
I really do think Bruins in 7. I'm just using the Islanders in 6. It's just a
Reverse psychology.
John, reverse psychology stuff. But no, I think the Bruins can win in 7. But it really is anyone's series.
Yeah,
These are two evenly matched to a point. But I do think the Bruins can go and poke enough holes in the Islanders' play style. Plus, when you've got, instead of only having one line having production in the perfection line, Bergeron, Marchand, and Pasternak, and now you got Taylor Hall on the second line with Krejci and I forget who they've been plugging in with Hall and Krejci, but now you got 2 lines that are that are producing. That's pretty good. And then you got a third and fourth line that, they're not producing a ton, but they're doing all right.
By the way, I don't want to say nobody. I don't want anybody to ever say nobody cares about hockey. We've spent the last 45 minutes talking about, or actually, probably 35 minutes.
Yeah, about that.
Yep.
Probably a
Talking
little
about-
bit less. Probably at like 30 because we have had a couple of jokes that we just like full stop for a minute. Like, holy smokes, did we really just have that one air?
Yeah, boy. This is going to be one of those shows, folks.
Oh yeah.
But anybody else have anything on the world of hockey before we move on to the other sports? Because, folks, sorry to inform you, this isn't a hockey show.
Was hoping it'd be.
I think we can move on now.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
Quickly, I want to get to golf. Believe me, we won't spend 45 minutes on golf. I want to send the congratulations out to Phil Mickelson, who this past weekend became the oldest active player to win a major. I think he's 50 now.
I don't know. That's the one stat I really don't care about, how old
I know.
somebody is.
No, because I'm only saying that because I always put Phil as like the second tier
Yes, he is
level.
50.
He is 50. Okay, thanks,
Yes.
Steven.
Hey, there is one other hockey thing I have to say though. After or not hockey, but golf thing I have to say after you're done with Phil Mickelson.
I always put Phil as the step right below Tiger. And, because I always put Tiger and Vijay Singh and all those guys up here. And I put Phil like right here.
Phil's
Absolutely.
better than Tiger. He's not driving his car too fast and breaking his leg.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Ouch.
Ouch.
What is it with the shots tonight?
We all got some piss
I
and
don't know if
vinegar
I
in
see-
us today.
I was about to ask, who
And
pissed in
yes,
your cereal?
Tony, we are about to fucking move on.
I was about to say, who pissed in your cereal today?
I don't need cereal. I'm a man.
I eat cereal.
Anyways,
He looks for the toy in the box.
Easily
Wow.
broken.
Oh, shit.
Still waiting for that Avengers Dakota ring.
You mean the one that I got in 1996?
Yeah.
next.
Oh my
No.
God. But yeah, guys, let's move
Yeah,
on.
let's
The other
keep moving.
The other golf news that I have actually involves Phil Mickelson. If you guys saw yesterday's news, for charity, Capital One's The Match, the 4th edition. It'll be Phil Mickelson teaming up with the legendary touchdown Tom Brady, taking on Bryson DeChambeau and the one and only Aaron Rodgers.
That
It'll be-
Aaron Rodgers.
It'll be held July
you mean the
6th.
prima donna.
It'll be held July 6th at 5 p.m. Eastern on TNT.
You mean that same guy who some people on the show have gone on multiple rants on?
Oh, are you sure about that? Yeah, I think you are pretty sure about that. Yeah.
It's caused Stephen more gray hairs and Saint Anger.
This is true.
Oh
Why do you have to bring that up?
wow.
This is true.
This is embarrassing to go and admit. That was the first Metallica record I bought with my own money that I earned because at the time I'm like, oh, it's Metallica. They have a new song out. And it was, they used one of the songs on the WWE pay-per-view for a theme song. Ooh, I like this. And then I listened to the album and went,
hopefully the receipt's got a 20-year return policy.
I don't keep receipts.
Wow. I keep I keep receipts.
Listen to that album make me feel frantic.
Next.
Just want to acknowledge Shofi's comment right now. Yes, Shofi, we did see the tweets going by between Tom and Aaron Rodgers there. We'll get to the whole Aaron Rodgers debacle when we get to the NFL at the end of the show. But
when that will be, we don't know.
And according to Tony, he wants to say this message out loud, and that is Huck Chad.
Let's move on. NBA playoffs are in full swing right now.
Yes, they are.
And first thing I want to get to, there was two incidents. One in the Knicks-Hawks game, and one in the, is it Wizards 76ers?
Yes.
That a fan in the Wizards game supposedly spilled popcorn by Russell Westbrook, apparently.
Yeah, Westbrook was going to the tunnel, and a fan went and dumped their popcorn on top of him. And Westbrook, the tweet from Barstool Sports, I think it was from Barstool Sports, they went and said, Russell Westbrook looking for Malice at the Palace Part 2.
Yeah.
And no, he was hot enough that he wanted to go in those stands, and thank God there was security around him.
I have a question. If you win the stands, don't they have to be 6 feet apart?
It's May 27th, sir. COVID is over.
Let's move on.
The joke died worse than the Dallas Cowboys playoff hopes.
There it is.
Wow.
Moving on.
Ooh,
Hey, I'm sorry. I had to hit
and
Tony.
in the other incident that happened, the Knicks finally tied up their series with Atlanta, but supposedly a Knicks fan, spit on Trae Young. Both incidents that were brought up, both of them, the fan was ejected, had their season tickets revoked, and were banned from both arenas. Let me ask you guys this question. I'll ask this to YouTube as well and to Discord. Would you ever think or ever imagine spitting on an athlete?
No, not at all. Why would anybody do that, to be honest? I mean, come on, that is, first of all, that is disgusting. Especially with this whole COVID thing, you can't be doing that. Secondly, it is borderline disrespectful. They say spitting in somebody's face or spitting on them is the most disrespectful thing you could do. A slap in the face is nothing compared to that. Plus, you paid your ticket to be there. Why in the fuck are you doing that?
No.
Why are you getting yourself ejected over something stupid, over a player you may not like because of their performance, or you just don't like them, period? If you don't like them, voice your opinion. Yes, you can do that. Say they suck. Say they're terrible. Do whatever you want. Voice your opinion. But don't get physical by spitting or throwing popcorn or drinks at them.
I mean, seriously, no, I'm not defending. I'm not going back, years ago when Artest jumped in the stands. I'm not condoning what Artest did, but at the same time, those stupid fans got what they deserved in a way.
Absolutely.
When you are trying to get physical with a sports athlete, you're asking for trouble. I mean, that idiot who threw popcorn at Westbrook is asking for it. The fact that Westbrook basically saw security and said, nope, I can't do that. If Westbrook was a lot hotter at that time as far as the temper goes, he would have said, fuck this. I'm going into the stands and I'm going to beat the crap out of this kid, because you cannot do that. And like you said, Ezra, I don't care what team you root for. You can be a Bruins fan. You can be an Islanders fan. You can be a Lakers fan, a Celtics fan, a Cowboys fan, a Giants fan. You know, any team that has a rivalry, Ravens, Steelers, Packers, Bears, whatever.
Steven, are you going to sit there and name every team from every sport?
I'm just saying, Johnny boy. I'm just saying the fact that you can be any fan of any team.
Well, what happens if you're a fan of the...
Especially rivals. And you cannot do that, because if you do that, then you're asking for trouble, and you're really putting yourself into the danger zone of not being able to come back to these games again. Because the guy who they discovered in 2004 at the Malice at the Palace, who actually threw the cup, when they found out who it was, they said, nope, you're banned for life. And these two fans that got ejected at these games for spitting on Young and throwing the popcorn at Westbrook, you deserve to be banned.
So on YouTube, Stephen, Todd Tomerlin goes and comments, Trey got spit on, and that is unacceptable, but popcorn not so much a big deal to me. In both cases, the fan should be banned, no doubt, but unless the dude hollered something, arrest to me, not a big deal. Westbrook, of course, he's playing a basketball game. He's going to the tunnel. He's probably got adrenaline pumping through him still, even if he's going under the tunnel hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, of course, popcorn being thrown on by a fan is going to incense him. But in the grand scheme of things, having popcorn thrown at you is just, okay, well, that guy clearly can't hold on to things, and it's a good thing he doesn't play sports. But the dude spitting on Trey Young, no, you should be dragged through Times Square and spit on by everybody else as punishment.
Yeah, because it's disgusting. It's disrespectful. It should have never happened. It's like if the guy had thrown the popcorn, he was saying racist things to Russ and was saying the N-word or whatever the case may be, then I could see a whole different outrage and all this other stuff. I mean, yes, he deserved to get banned for life. Both of them did, because you shouldn't be doing that. You are a fan who paid a ticket, a couple $100 to sit there that close and watch those players play their sport, and yet you're going to do something stupid and get yourself banned for life over just something you don't like? Get the hell out of here. You might as well just take that $200 and throw it in the fire.
You should be thankful that you have enough money to go to these games, because there's people out here that work so hard, that are working for paycheck to paycheck, that don't have the kind of money that these people out here in the world do. If they had the money to go into these games, that's fine, but be a respectful customer to go to these games and these events and even concerts. Don't be an idiot in the crowd to act like a jackass. And if somebody knocks you out, well, then you deserved it. Because, I mean, there's been people at concerts that act like a bunch of idiots, and they get the living shit beat out of them. Like that one guy at a Foo Fighters concert. He was acting like an idiot. Dave Grohl saw him, pointed him out and said, hey, you look at me. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. Because all you're doing is being an idiot. You come to my show to have a good time, not to fight. I mean, you cannot act like this. You have to have full control of your brain. Because if you don't, you can really danger everybody around you if you don't know what you're doing and you just don't have control of yourself.
And I've got on a concert, a personal one. I went to go and see Buck Cherry. This was like 10 years ago, I think. Mm-hmm. And as I'm standing there, I'm getting jostled, so I backed up a little bit, and I go and see the guy with his girlfriend and another guy get into a tussle. The guy with his girlfriend sucker punches the other guy, grabs his girlfriend, and then security goes and sees him, and he points at the other guy who's on the ground. And I'm like, no. I point to the guy through the first punch, point at him. He's giving me a dirty look. The three of them are escorted out. I got to go and see Buck Cherry without getting punched.
Yeah, and then a quick little story about I was at a concert 2 years ago in Raleigh to see Metallica for a third time, and I'm in the crowd, and there's this guy. And he walks up to me and my mother and my friend and whatever. And he's like, oh, hey, guys, whatever. And then as the show is starting and the band is playing, Metallica's playing, this guy starts grabbing onto me and my mother and kissing. And I'm like, dude, whoa. First of all, I don't roll like that. And second of all, don't you be kissing my mother like that. Don't you ever do that. And then he kept on talking, oh, I love you guys. And I said, dude, if you don't back the hell away, I will have you removed from this place. Do you understand me? And he wouldn't stop. And finally, she had to call her boyfriend to come down. And he's like, hey, are you the guy that's trying to, kiss her and all this other stuff? And he was like, just back the fuck up. Stop it. What are you doing? You don't do that. You have to. I don't know if the guy was drunk, whether it was or not. I don't give a crap. The guy was an idiot. And that was my first major time dealing with an idiot at a concert. And it was not fun at all. I mean, you have to be, like I said, in full control, no matter where you're at. If you're at a sporting event, a concert, have fun. If you're watching an athlete, you don't like the guy because he's a rival against your team, boo him. Oh, you suck. That's all well and good. Like the Knicks fans, the majority of the Knicks fans against Trae Young and Atlanta they were fine. They were like, oh, you suck, whatever. But don't spit in a dude's face. It's not good.
No, I get that. And I'm just seeing the comments right now on YouTube, and everybody is pretty much in agreement with us.
Yeah, definitely.
That it's completely wrong. I mean, Ray even makes a comment, and I've seen this a lot, even and it's right, because we're looking at this from the sports world, from the concert world. You also have to throw the job world in there.
Yes.
Because, like, I've seen it happen already where I am, and customers get all pissed off and start throwing stuff. They're not the ones who have to then clean up the mess.
Yep.
Think about it.
Yep.
I mean, a quick side story. I'll tell this one quickly. There was an incident. Oh God, this was probably a couple weeks ago, where I work, and I work at one of the supermarkets by me, and they caught somebody stealing. And I'm not talking like a Snickers candy bar. I'm talking like a full wagon full of stuff. And the woman was caught, because the way it works is you're not allowed to catch them in the store. You have to wait till they're outside the store to start bringing them up on that stuff. The woman came back in, threw a punch at the manager, threw a table at one of the employees, and kind of was like trying to bump her chest at some of the people. And who do you think had to clean that up? Wasn't her. I mean, I can go into another story, but that one actually kind of pisses me off. But my point is this: you can't turn around. Doesn't matter where you're going. There's that little word called respect. And I think I saw Mike mention it in the comments before. People don't know. Maybe it's because we've all been stuck in our houses for the better part of the last year and haven't had interactions with human beings. And crap, it's been over a year now. That all of a sudden it's like people have to get retrained on how to act like a normal person. And here's the funny thing, though. This goes back to the whole conversation, and I know this isn't a wrestling show, but you'll get my point with this in a second. This whole thing goes back to Busted Open with their master's class on their podcast they just dropped. I think it was this past Sunday on kayfabe, and the whole thing with MJF. You're going to always get, especially when it comes to the NBA, you're always going to have that person who's the villain or the bad guy.
Yep.
Go back to the 90s when the Knicks used to have those heated series with the Pacers. Who was the villain?
Reggie
the
Miller.
Knicks fans hated.
Reggie Miller.
Exactly.
And talk about that, John. Spike Lee would be sitting in the front row, and Reggie Miller would get so into the game one of his game, he was having a cold streak, and Spike Lee was like, ha ha ha, dude, you suck, blah 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 blah. And then Reggie Miller got hot, and he was just hitting three after three, shot after shot. He couldn't be stopped, and he would glance in the very same spot where Spike Lee is sitting, and he'd be like, I got you, bro. I mean, that's fun. But when you're at a sporting event, like we keep saying, if you act like a jackass, you're going to get treated like one because you're acting like one, and you deserve whatever happens to you. If somebody was to go up there and punch you, well, I'm sorry, well, you deserved it. Or or vice versa, if you get kicked out, I'm sorry, you are responsible for your own actions.
Exactly, Stephen. And Tony makes a great comment, going back to the whole respect thing for a second. He said, you are taught at an early age how to respect your fellow man or woman. At least you should be.
Yep.
And he's not wrong. And I mean, yes, I understand Knicks fans have a gripe against Trae Young for what he did in game one. But to turn around and start spitting on them, I'm sorry. You may not like the guy for what he did, but you don't have to be an asshole about it.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, as a school custodian, I've gone and heard disrespectful things being said. I've had kids, parents, and teachers go and say, I shouldn't have to go pick that up. That's the custodian's job. That's a very, very disrespectful thing to go and say to somebody in my line of work. You know, this is not my story. This was told to me by a former custodian who recently passed away from cancer. He went and told me one night doing the ski club, the parents are coming in, and this parent wanted to get into the other part of the building. They weren't allowed to be in at the time. The guy said no. The parent went and said, I pay taxes to this town. I deserve to be anywhere in this building I want. And the guy went and looked at her and said, yeah, and I pay taxes to the United States. It doesn't mean I get to walk into the White House kitchen and make myself a sandwich.
You know,
it's all about respecting everybody, you know, and you got a lot of people, like I said as in response on YouTube, you got a lot of people that are taught respect, but you've also got a lot of people that are taught how to not respect.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think mind you, we've been talking about the NBA now for the last probably 20 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. We actually haven't even been talking about what happened on the damn court.
Because
this stuff is bigger.
Yeah.
These stories are overshadowing what we should be talking about, and that is the games on the court.
Exactly. And this is why, to me, this whole thing, I mean, you're taught at a young age, you know, respect everybody. But the problem is, and I know because I have this tendency as well, you tend to have things go in one ear and out the other ear.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I think that's half the problem, especially now with everything starting to reopen again. People are going to have to actually randomly sit there and go, oh, you mean I can't, sit on Zoom like we're doing right now and just talk to people? I actually have to be in a room with them? I don't know what that's like. But to me, I mean, if anybody wants to call in and give us their take on this, by all means, go right ahead. We definitely would love to get other people's takes on this. But let's get to what actually happened on the court. Let me just pull up wrong sport. Want to go through each series, a little bit here and there. And let's go now. Hold on, come on. There we go. All right. Philadelphia currently leads in their series 2-0 over Washington. Are we surprised by this at all?
No. Because Washington is not a great team.
No.
And Philadelphia is the top seed, but they're not a great number one seed either. I mean, they got a great team, but they're not a great number one seed because of their track record in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. You got, obviously, like we were talking about with the Knicks and Hawks right now. Do you realize, by the way, in the Eastern Conference, that's the only series right now that's not a 2-0 lead?
I'm not surprised because that could go to any team. The Knicks could do it, or Atlanta could do it. The one that definitely doesn't surprise me is Brooklyn and Boston. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, Brooklyn beat the hell out of the Celtics on Tuesday night. They played great offense and they played great defense. They stopped them so well. And I heard a stat the other day. Jason Tatum is only 9 for 31 in the series right now. That is not good. He cannot be the only Boston player jacking up shots and trying to play great. He has to have his whole entire team playing well or trying to play well. Because again, it's a team sport. And the way it's looking right now, it looks like it's going to be a sweep for Brooklyn.
And then they would face the winner of the Milwaukee-Miami series.
Ooh. Well, that could be a very interesting story because, again, with that one, not surprised. Milwaukee, the number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. Miami, number 6. Not surprised they're not going to make it to the finals because, let's face it, last year it was COVID, and anybody could have won those games last year in the bubble because there was not a true home court advantage. Milwaukee is a good team this year. They're not the best team, but they're better than Philadelphia. But what do you got? Giannis Antetokounmpo and all those guys on that team, man, they can. If they get hot, Milwaukee can make some noise. And Milwaukee could have won their series in the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago against Toronto, but Toronto was a better team that year. And Giannis didn't have a lot of help that year. If Giannis can get help for his team this year, they can do some damage. But you're going to get, if Brooklyn starts playing, because the way they're playing right now, Brooklyn's playing pretty well. And they're sticking together and they're coexisting. And let's see if they can keep it up.
Absolutely. But Kevin, Ezra, what about you guys? Any of the series in the Eastern Conference surprise you at all?
No.
No, not
I
really.
mean, I've gone and said for years the NBA playoffs, it's exciting. I will go and say, having watched, quite a bit because the Celtics for a while were always in the playoffs. It's exciting to watch, but the outcomes before the series starts, especially in the first round. The 1 beats the 8, the 4 and the 5 is a mix, the 3 beats the 6, the 2 beats the 7. The only thing that I kind of see this year, maybe the 7 out west goes and beats the 2. And if that's the case, it's the NBA. Ever since the Tim Donaghy scandal with the betting and reffing, the NBA is rigged to me.
There is no way on earth that the NBA wants the upstart Phoenix Suns to be going deep into the Western Conference.
Okay, hold on.
No.
Hold on. We're bringing up Phoenix right now.
Phoenix and LA are tied 1-1 right now.
That's not why I'm pissed off.
You said this was not going to happen. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It is going to happen.
It was announced, and I'm only saying this because the coach of the year.
Oh yes, I know where this is going. Yup.
Yeah, no, I think we cover this last week too. I think we covered this last week when I was the glorious host.
Yeah, you did a good job, by the way.
That's it. Like that's all you're not gonna be like, it was the best show ever. Like we couldn't have done anything better.
But no, you did.
It was so great to go and have somebody in the host chair that wasn't going to be peddling, the Giants were Aaron Rodgers away for winning the Super Bowl. We're thinking the Islanders are somehow better than the Bruins.
What are we coming out with? All the classic hits I've done?
Yeah, it's a bit much.
No, if we were coming out with a classic hit, I would just let off with Cam Newton and the Giants.
Yes.
Which just came across Twitter right now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a bit much.
But either way, you were hot about that last week because no, I'm sorry.
No, it should have gone to Phoenix, to their coach. Not sorry, the other way around. It should have gone to Thibodeau.
Thibodeau is a hell of a coach.
Yeah. I didn't remember if
Absolutely.
I didn't remember if we spoke about it last week, so
a little score update right now. It is 3-1 the Canadiens over the Maple Leafs in the second.
Okay.
But I'm still very heated about that. because to me that was basically a let's screw the Knicks once again. Even though, mind you, that series between them and Atlanta could be one of the best series there right now, especially with the fact of Trae Young and the stuff he's pulling. I'm going to be the first one to say that right now. But anybody else have anything else regarding the NBA?
As far as last night's game between the Jazz and the Grizzlies, that was pretty interesting because that was Donovan Mitchell's first game back since being injured and his first game back since he last played on April the 16th.
Yeah.
And Grizzlies player John Morant had one hell of a game, scoring a career high 47 points with 7 assists in that game last night, but still not enough to beat the top-seeded Utah Jazz. And that right there, to me, in the Western Conference, is pretty shocking. The fact that the Jazz are the overall number 1 seed in the Western Conference, and they had the best record this year in the NBA. So it's been a very kind of interesting year this year. I mean, LeBron and them are number 7. And like you said, Kevin, it's a very interesting possibility that the number 7 seed can possibly beat the number 2 seed. And plus, just thinking about it, come on, and being rational about it. The NBA does not want the Suns to advance past against the Lakers.
No, but here's the thing. Realistically, right now, being that we're in a couple of games in the first round, do we still think it's going to be Philly?
Philly going to the next round?
No, going all the way to the finals.
No, not even close.
No.
I'm sorry.
You think it's going to be Brooklyn?
If they can play consistently, yes.
Yep.
Here's
Brooklyn can
my
beat
thing.
Milwaukee or Miami. Brooklyn could beat Philly. I mean, they still have Ben Simmons who can't shoot.
Yeah,
Ben Simmons is a phenomenal point guard as far as driving to the basket and being an overall rebounding point guard and assisting point guard. But that guy is, like you said, is not a great shooter. I don't think he believes in himself with his jump shot. And a player at his caliber, he's been playing in the league for a couple of years. He should be in the gym working on his jump shot, and I would think that he is, but it's not showing because his jump shooting is very inconsistent. There's times where he's good, and then there's times where he's not good. And I just hope for his sake that he can get better because the guy is one hell of a player. And Joel Embiid is a phenomenal player himself when he can actually stay healthy.
yeah.
And Philadelphia has had some great teams in the past 4 or 5 years, but they can't get over the hump because the teams that face in the Eastern Conference have been much better than them, whether if it's Cleveland those years or Toronto or whatever, all that stuff. But I don't trust Philadelphia.
You know what's funny? Steven, not to cut you off there for a second, but you know who I can see?
Oh, I know who it is, Johnny Cakes. It's your New York Knicks.
I think they're going to ride the momentum of last night's win. Coming back from 13 down in the fourth quarter.
All right, well, let me throw you a scenario. All right. So let's say if Brooklyn and New York do face each other in the next round or so. If Brooklyn is up 3-1 against the Knicks, do you believe, as a fan of the Knicks, do you have the faith in your basketball team that they can pull a miracle out of the hat and beat Brooklyn down 3-1?
Well, here's the thing, Steven. The likelihood of that happening wouldn't be till the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
Because coming out of, hold on. Because Knicks get past Atlanta, they'll get the winner of Philly, Washington. Brooklyn gets past Boston, they'll get the winner of Milwaukee, Miami. So if it comes down to Knicks, Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals,
I'm just on that scenario there if that possibly happens.
I mean, realistically, if it's Brooklyn's up 3-1, I don't think the Knicks can pull that off. But you're looking at a Knicks team that you go back to the preseason, everybody was figuring they were going to be, if you look at the Eastern Conference, they were going to be 13th, 14th, 15th in the league.
Yep.
In the Eastern Conference.
Yep.
and they were the number 4 team. Nobody believed in them. And they're proving people wrong day in and day out.
And the reason why they're doing so well is because they have a guy who is a credible coach for their basketball team. Because Thibodeau has a very great track record as a head coach.
And you know what else is the weird part with the Knicks right now? You know who's basically been the reason why they've gotten to where they got? 2 players. Julius Randle.
Yep.
And Derrick Rose.
How crazy is that? A man who is past his prime in Derrick Rose. He has not done really hardly nothing in his career in the past several years.
Since his MVP year.
Yep, since his MVP year. The guy was always a great player for Chicago, but he was always injury prone as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of that injury prone, I think, had to do with being pushed too much as far as his playing style. He had a really aggressive drive to the basket. He was very aggressive in his footwork. And you got to understand, playing that type of high impact sport when you're jumping on your knees, your ankles, and pushing those ligaments to the brink, it's going to break you down eventually. And with the way how hard Derrick played, that's more likely what contributed to the injuries that would plague him for what's been going on over a decade now.
And here's another crazy thing about him. Man, if he would have, if those Chicago teams that had him and Ben Gordon were still, played for a lot more than they did. Oh my God. Ben Gordon, man, he was incredible for Chicago all those years. That classic 7-game series against the defending Boston Celtics, the champions in 2009. Man, that was a great series. And Ben Gordon was just ungodly hot. He was on fire. And that was Derrick Rose's MVP. That was his rookie year. And the kid was great. And
okay, but Steven, you're talking before about, he's been very injury prone. Do you know how many players have had that type of career? That all of a sudden they have 1 or 2 good years, and then also, here's a great example. I always go back to this. Do you remember Greg Oden?
Sure.
Yep.
The center from Portland, and everybody thought he was going to be, the next best center. And what did he play?
Fought,
2 years?
Injury prone galore.
And here's my thing though. Look at everybody talks about, if it's the Knicks Nets. I would put more money on the Knicks to make a run. And here's why. The Nets, I've always said this, if they win the NBA Finals this year, bought themselves a championship.
Right.
Because think about it. You went out and you got Harden. Yes, Durant was already on the team from last year, but essentially you got Durant. You got Blake Griffin. You go down the list.
But no, not even that too, John. But after Durant had his injury in the 19 finals against Toronto when he tore his Achilles, Kyrie signed that off season.
Mm-hmm.
But they already had Kyrie.
Yeah.
And Durant, when he got healthy, you knew he was going to be there. But then the early part in this year's season, James Harden was not happy with Houston. So he was basically crying like a baby and said, "Oh, I want out of Houston because I'm not getting my way." All this other stuff because he could not get the job done. And now that he's with Brooklyn and him and Kyrie and Durant are doing their thing, it's a possibility they can go far because the Eastern Conference is not too big this year and it's not great again.
Okay, hold on. I'll read you some of the guys on the Knicks. Okay. Taj Gibson. Noel. Who else? Let's see here. Julius Randle. Derrick Rose. You basically have a team made up of half the guys who I don't even know who the hell they are, with some guys whose career should have ended 5 years ago. I always say, you have to have these teams buying into your system. You see it with the Islanders, with Trotz. You're seeing the same thing with the Knicks and Thibodeau.
Yep.
They're buying into his system. Which is why, do you know how much I think the NBA would love it if we get Knicks Lakers in the finals? It's a possibility.
Set it into existence. That means it's probably going to happen.
Probably. I've had that, that power before. We also have Adam Silver on speed dial, so I can just always call him and just tell him, get the Knicks and the Lakers in the finals. I digress. But
That's also another thing, you brought up the Lakers as far as this season. LA had a very interesting season this year. Not a great season.
no,
And I just think that after winning the championship last year, they lost their focus of defending their crown. And they almost missed the playoffs.
playoffs.
Playoffs. You're talking about
Oh, boy.
playoffs?
Oh boy.
There is
LeBron
one.
got hurt for real. Anthony Davis got hurt for real. And then LeBron James, needed the attention. So he got poked in the eye. And oh my God, I might lose my eye. And then, oh no, my shoulder. And oh no, this. Oh no. And, oh,
Yeah, by the way, I forgot to tell you.
no.
LeBron James is getting nominated next year for the Oscars.
That dude flops more than a big mouth Billy Bass mounted on a wall.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, he's getting nominated for best choreographed as an actor.
Well, Chris Paul was pretty good at it too.
Oh yeah.
I'm
but
sorry.
With LeBron, it just seems like, wait, the cameras aren't on me? Okay.
No,
Oh,
LeBron.
my shoulder.
That's why I call him LaFlop instead of LeBron.
Yeah, because LeBron, he has been such a baby this year. Just play basketball. Stop. Just stop.
I'll say this also right now, and this could be a hot take.
I take.
He's not the GOAT.
No,
he's not. Of
he's
course
far
not.
from the GOAT. Now he's the best of this generation,
Of this generation, absolutely.
but as far as of all time, no.
I will say this to the day I die, it will always be MJ. And to
Yeah,
me,
shit. I'll go as far as say Kobe was better than LeBron.
here's my
Kobe
thing.
is better than LeBron. Michael Jordan is better than the both of them, but Kobe Bryant is 1B to Michael Jordan's 1A.
But here's my thing, though.
Absolutely.
LeBron, I saw a picture a couple weeks ago that he had a tattoo that says, faithful or something like that.
That's hilarious.
Wait. He has a tattoo that says faithful.
Yeah.
What? To his basketball team?
No. Steven, faithful to his pocket.
Because last time I checked, he was complaining about the playing game. Oh, well, there should be a playing game. Well, you weren't complaining about that last year. I mean,
Think about it. This guy went from Cleveland, because he's the hometown boy, to all of a sudden, no, he had to be Shelby, that's Michael Jordan, not Magic Johnson. Thank you. Because Shelby just asked on YouTube which MJ we were referring to.
Jordan.
Definitely Jordan.
I think Shelby is also being sarcastic with us on that one.
Who knows with him?
But my thing is this.
I'm just surprised you didn't ask if it was Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson, the MJ we're referring to, because I would never refer to Magic Johnson as MJ.
Anyways, but no, I mean,
Is this going to be a thriller?
oh yes, we can go into the Giants. Absolutely, yes.
And if he does, I won't stop till I get enough.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And if John really does see the Cam Newton goes to the Giants, well, he might just beat it out of existence.
Oh, he'll definitely remember the time.
Oh, wow. What the hell's coming?
Anyways, but no, LeBron is not the best player of all time in the NBA. He is the best of this generation because nobody, I mean, even as great as Kevin Durant is a great player. But I remember when Golden State was beating Cleveland that year, and Paul Pierce said of his own mouth, Durant's better than LeBron. I'm like, are you crazy? When LeBron is focused and he's actually giving a shit, LeBron is a better defender than Durant will ever be. Now, Durant might be the better overall shooter than LeBron because let's face it, LeBron's jump shots and his free throw percentages are very up and down and consistent. But when LeBron is focused, he can deliver. But I'm just saying, even if the Lakers make it to the NBA Finals this year, even if they do, I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to win the championship this year because Milwaukee could beat them and Brooklyn could beat them.
Yeah.
I do have one very quick little note here from for the playoffs and for the NBA playoffs tonight. Kendrick Nunn, who was in the starting lineup, he has been switched out for Goran Dragic tonight.
Ooh.
They switched him out to try and help make a bigger difference as a starter and really help that starting lineup gain the momentum they need to keep the game going. So that's why they're replacing Nunn with Dragic tonight.
Very interesting.
Bringing the 2-year guy who kind of has been a little inconsistent. Now they're trying to bring in the veteran to see if he can add that consistency to that starting lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. But anything else regarding the NBA?
I think we are good on that front, right, guys?
The Bucks are up 29-18.
I was gonna say, Kevin, you want to do a quick scoring update?
You want us to all
What
shut our
Steven
cameras
said.
off?
What Steven said.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
I
about-
could do a quick score update.
Okay.
No, don't actually shut screens off. This is not
Okay.
a one shining moment.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All
we
right.
now present you with the score updates, courtesy of our Nation Sports Show's own, the stat man, Kevin McDonald. Kevin, take it away.
Okay, so currently Montreal's starting a power play. It's 3-1 over Toronto. In the NBA, the only game currently going on right now in the second quarter, Milwaukee has a 35-20 lead. And now into the world of baseball. Let me go and do finals here. Finals. Okay, so in a 2-game doubleheader today, the New York Mets swept the Colorado Rockies. Game 1 was a score of 1-0. Game 2, a score of 4-2. The Philadelphia Phillies beat the Miami Marlins 3-2. The Chicago Cubs defeated the Pirates of Pittsburgh 5-3, and we'll get to a crazy moment of that game later. Tease. The Cleveland Indians beat the Detroit Tigers 5-2. In the free game of the day on YouTube, in case anybody is aware, the MLB this season has been doing free games on YouTube on Thursdays, and I like it. It's awesome. Final in 10, San Diego Padres lose to the Milwaukee Brewers 6-5. The Washington Nationals beat the Reds 5-3. The Tampa Bay Rays blasted the Kansas City Royals 7-2. And in game 1 of a 2-game doubleheader today, the Toronto Blue Jays beat the New York Yankees. And for games that are currently going on, the New York Yankees are up in the top of the 5th, 4-3 over the Blue Jays. On the bottom of the 5th, another 2-game doubleheader. The Reds currently have the lead over the Washington Nationals 3-0. Baltimore and the Chicago White Sox have just started, top of the 1st. Baltimore has 1 hit. At 9:40, the Angels and the Athletics will go and play, along with 9:40 start the Cardinals and Diamondbacks. 10:10, Giants and Dodgers. 10:10, Rangers and Mariners wrap up the night. And that was your score update. Brought to you by Power Thirst. When you are thirsty and you need a lot of energy, go buy some Power Thirst.
It is
Back to you
also
guys.
it is brought to you by Equinox Cream. Does your Shangri-La have an itch? Try Equinox.
My God. Wow.
And for those who don't know about Power Thirst, please go to YouTube and look up Power Thirst. I'm telling you right now, you will be laughing for the whole 2 minutes you watch the video, and then for 10 minutes after.
Thank you for that update there, Kevin. You mentioned before the Angels are playing tonight, right?
What's that?
You said the Angels were supposed to be playing tonight?
Yes. 9:40 start time.
Okay. Ohtani was supposed to be the starter tonight for that game.
Mhm.
But it's being reported by now by Jeff Fletcher that apparently Ohtani had to be scratched. Now, the reason for his being scratched as the starting pitcher tonight is actually quite comical. I'm going to read you the tweet from Jeff Fletcher. Joe Madden said that Ohtani was on one of the Angels buses that got stuck in transit across the bay to Oakland, so he had to take BART. That made him too late to get to his proper prep to pitch, so he's pitching tomorrow instead. So he got scratched from his start because there was traffic going to Oakland.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he got scratched from his start tonight, and he'll be pitching tomorrow. I don't know if they announced yet. Let me check quickly to see if they announced who's pitching tonight for the Angels. Sandoval will be pitching tonight, but it was supposed to be Ohtani. And that game, like Kevin said in the update, that game will get started at 9:40 p.m. Eastern time. So about 6:40 West Coast. See? I'm smart.
That's very debatable.
I went to college.
Yeah, but not everybody that goes to college is exactly a fucking Rhodes Scholar, let me tell you.
Okay, terrific. Let's move on. Kevin, keep your composure.
I am on that one.
Okay, keep your composure.
Boy, howdy.
Moving on.
I don't know what it is today. I am in a rare form, man. I'm just
But here's the only thing, though. I mentioned for Otani's not starting tonight as a pitcher,
yeah.
but he is going to be playing in the outfield.
Oh, okay.
Well,
They
'cause
just-
then eventually he is going to get there. He just won't be able to go and do warm-up pitches. So he'll pitch tomorrow.
Exactly. But I want to throw you guys this one. We've all watched baseball for most of our lives, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When you hear a complete game, how many pitches do you normally hear the pitcher pitched in a complete game? 95 to 100
Yeah.
or so, give or take?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
I would say it's about the right ratio. Yeah.
Though there have been a couple of no-hitters this season that the pitch count went into, I believe, 120 was
Mhm. What if I were to
in
tell you
Cincinnati,
guys?
Wade Miley.
What if I were to tell you guys that there was a complete game last week that the pitcher only threw 62 pitches?
Wow.
Did you play MLB The Show on your PlayStation?
No, this is not fantasy. This is reality.
Is this the real life or is this just fantasy?
We're not
But
getting
in
caught
a
in a landslide right
landslide
now.
with no escape
Huh?
from reality.
Okay, moving on.
Hold on, no,
Yeah, we're gonna move on because I don't want to get caught in a landslide. John, that cannot be real. That
Oh,
cannot be real.
it's real. Rockies pitcher Herman Marquez pitched last Thursday at Citi Field as the Rockies were doing, I think it was a doubleheader or something. He lost the game. They lost 1-0 in that game. I should have read the entire article. It was a 7-inning doubleheader.
Oh, that was today.
I'm not going to comment.
No, that wasn't today. That was Thursday.
Today's
No,
Thursday.
that was Monday.
Crap. Yeah, you're right.
No, I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, maybe we should open up the liquor cabinet tonight.
Holy
Wow,
crap.
we are just something else tonight.
We're in rare form.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, apparently it was today.
Yeah. Today, because you said it was a 1-0 game, right?
Yeah.
Well, they lost 1-0 earlier today.
Okay. Well, I'm a dumbass.
Very well.
You said it, not me.
Wow. I think I was hit on the head too many times.
Next.
I'm sorry, but you can't pull that fucking Bully Ray excuse, okay? Get the hell out of here.
You think this head is
Filthy
supposed to be this
mutt.
size? Hold on, Ezra. This is all brain swelling.
No, you
That's
just
brain
no.
cells.
I'm not the one who looks like a cracked egg with string glued to his head.
Next.
Yeah, we got to move on from that one.
Oh, buddy. Okay. The other thing
Holy
also.
shnikes.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk
Yeah.
about this. Let's talk about that crazy play during the Chicago Cubs game today.
Yes, Ezra, go right ahead. As we all try to gain our composure and think about what the hell we're doing with our lives, but go right ahead. Floor's yours.
Trust me, I've been trying to figure it out for 29 years so far. No luck. Anyways, the crazy play was. Let me paint the picture for you.
No. Can't say it. Can't say it. Continue. Continue.
Anyways, let me paint the picture for you. Wilson Contreras is on second. There's 2 outs, and Javi Baez goes up to bat. He hits the ball out to third. They go to throw it to first, but he's not even standing on the first baseman's not even standing on the bag. So instead of putting his foot on the bag and making the out, ending the inning, he goes to chase him. By doing that, it allows Wilson Contreras to run. They throw the ball. Contreras is safe. So Javi runs back to first. They throw the ball. The first baseman misses the catch. Ends up in left field. And then Javi slides into second and steals a base. And also Contreras steals a run. How inept was that? That was 2 errors in one single play. It was insanity. Like, I'm sitting there on the couch. I watched that play. I am literally going, what the hell is going on? Like, seriously, it was amazing. It was something that I had never seen before in my, 16, 17 years I've been watching baseball.
But Ezra, my thing is this, knowing you probably weren't saying what the hell.
If I did it more Ronaldo style. I was like, what the hell? And then when he made it into second base, I was like, Mamma mia!
Oh, good Lord.
No, but seriously, it was an amazing play. You know, thanks to a couple of errors, Javi was able to make that, and I had never seen anything like it. So that was a great moment for the Cubs, and of course, a great moment for Javi's career. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Just add that to the list of what Javi Baez can go and do, because that is a phenomenal player for Chicago.
I mean, he's one of their MVPs, period, because that dude is just so good at in any position you put him in. He's a great hitter. He's great. He's great in every single aspect, and he's one of the most valuable players the Cubs have on that roster.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as that, though, it's baseball for you, Susan.
So I have one baseball note I'd like to go and bring up that involves Tony La Russa.
Ooh,
boy.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, Ezra, I think you know where I'm going with this. So the headline in the New York Daily News, because that's just what I happen to go and click on, White Sox in the middle of Tony La Russa controversy again, this time for Stadium Lounge that used to honor beloved concessions worker. So for those who are unfamiliar, there was a concessions worker for the Chicago White Sox named Loretta Micelli. I'm probably butchering the last name there.
Yeah, I would.
She worked for concessions for the White Sox for 60 years. So they had a lounge dedicated to her. It's called Loretta's Lounge. Well, Tony La Russa changed that and called it La Russa's Lounge because, I'm Tony La Russa and I deserve my own lounge, even though I've been here for 30 some odd games and probably don't deserve the credit I'm getting. So, like last week, the controversy, surrounding your man Mercedes swinging on a 3-0 pitch, calling him out in public about how there will be consequences, and there were consequences. And the Minnesota Twins pitcher threw behind Yerman Mercedes in the very next game. Knew that was going to be coming. The pitcher got yanked. But I'm sorry. Like, Tony La Russa is just way too old to be managing in baseball. He really is. He just needs to go away. Go away
A
quietly.
hothead.
You had your time in the sun. And go away quietly, but as long as you don't get behind a Mercedes after you've been drinking. That's a
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice segue.
No,
What a treat.
I am not a fan of Tony La Russa. I have never been a fan of Tony La Russa. I give him all the respect in the world for what he did in St. Louis and what he's been as a player and a manager. But the man can go and kick rocks.
He's a fucking
Not a
hothead.
baseball.
Kevin, tell us how you really feel.
I am. I mean,
I mean, Kevin, to be fair, I did see you post in the Discord how you were not too fond of this guy, and yeah, it's clearly showing.
No, I'm not. Especially like, and my biggest gripe with baseball currently is the whole talking out of both sides of their mouth. Out of one side is we need to get younger, we need to get better, we need to evolve the game, we need to grow the game of baseball. Out the other side of the mouth is but the unwritten rules. You can't do this, you shouldn't do that, you can't pimp home runs, you can't do this, you can't swing the 3-0 pitch. If you go and share, and I wish I would have been able to go and share the highlight, like screen share for everybody on YouTube, but MLB could go and take us down for doing that.
Yep.
Because we want to grow the game, but don't share our stuff. We want to grow the game, but let's let the pitchers in the NL still go and hit. Let's not do the DH, which was a resounding success last year in the COVID year. Like, it's just always been my thing is watching the game and seeing, the unwritten rule, act like you've been there before. It's like, no, that's boring. I want a Tatis Jr. to hit a grand slam on a 3-0 pitch and pimp it out like he just won Game 7 of the World Series. I want Ronald Acuna Jr. to be the face of baseball. I want this stuff. It's why I love Trevor Bauer, because he's coming out going, yeah, if you hit a home run off of me, go right ahead. If it's a 3-0 pitch, absolutely swing at that pitch. I sucked enough to give you that meatball.
It doesn't matter if it's a 1-0 pitch, 2-0 pitch, 3-0 pitch. It doesn't matter. Come on. I mean, come on.
Both Herman Edwards, when he was the New York Jets coach, you play to win the game.
Exactly. So you're telling me it's 3-0 and I can't swing for the fucking fences? Give me a break. Yeah. Come on.
The whole sign, he missed the sign to take it. No, swing for the fences, boy.
Give me a freaking break.
A juicy fastball over the heart of the plate. Swing for the fences. Go for it. Don't just go and take it to be like, oh, I gotta respect the old school portion of the game, that like sportsmanship and all that. You know what? A pitcher out there should have pitched better.
Exactly.
Same thing. I said this about the NFL when they made the regular season overtime. It was both teams get a possession because we want to make it fair for everybody. No, they're pros. I do the John Madden approach. If you lose the coin toss, it is now up to your defense to go and stop the other team and get the football for your offense. And if they can't do that, you deserve to lose.
Kevin,
that's it.
Kevin, two great examples of that. 2 games that pop in my head immediately. No, excuse me. Hell, I'll throw 3 games. Why not? So, first game, Saints and Vikings in the NFC Championship game in 2009. There were probably Vikings fans that said, oh, the Saints should have never been given the ball back, or they should have been given the ball, so they could have a chance after that field goal. No, I'm sorry. You had your opportunities to win the game. If Favre doesn't throw the interception, we're talking a different story.
Okay, look, I remember watching that, and I'm like, oh, my God, you've got clear open space to run. What do you – oh, of course. Favre doesn't run. There is
And
an
then-
actual play where he was running beyond the line of scrimmage for probably like 3 or 4 yards, realized it, and threw the ball forward, which now that he's beyond the line of scrimmage, he can't do, and it's a penalty. Oh,
And then
God,
the two other games, Atlanta and New England in the Super Bowl. There were probably Falcon fans that were going, "Oh, we should have been given opportunity." No, I'm sorry, Atlanta, but you blew the game. You're up 28-3 against the Patriots. You had the Patriots dead to rights, dead on arrival, and you blow that lead. And then the other game, Kansas City and New England in the AFC Championship game. There were Kansas City fans. I love certain Chiefs fans, but there were Chiefs fans that sat there and said that, no, we should have been given a ball. No, but there were some Chiefs fans that were smart enough and said, no, we did not earn that because the defense did not play well in those particular downs against New England. Stop. You know what? I
Is it hammer time?
Well, it's fixing to be with this overtime bullshit, but the fact that this overtime rule is the way it is, I don't like it. I kind of don't like it. I kind of do like it, but I kind of don't like it. I'm on the fence about it. I understand why they're doing it, but at the same time, I'm an old school guy. Sudden death made the best team win.
Yeah, no, I look at it going, college, yeah, absolutely. Go and give each team an opportunity at the ball in overtime. It's college, it's amateur level essentially. Yeah, they absolutely should go and get a shot. They're kids still. These are pros. These are grown-ass adults getting paid millions of dollars to play what amounts to a child's game.
Do you see the
Grow
NBA
up.
doing that?
No.
No.
My whole thing is this, as far as, because I've been trying to take care of like 3 things. So as far as with what's been going on here, no, with the whole thing with that, I'm sorry, you lose the coin toss, Kevin, like you said, and I agree with you 100%. That's where your defense comes into play, and that's where you have to trust your defense.
Mhm.
And that's where it comes down to. You don't trust your defense, and what the hell are you doing?
Right, exactly. And it's like, back to the New England Chiefs game. When I was talking to Ashley about the game, I said, what were your thoughts on that game? She was like, they deserve to lose that overtime period because their defense did not get it done. And I was like, exactly. You're thinking rational. You're thinking logical because these Kansas City fans are out there bitching and complaining that happened and they should have been given opportunity to the ball. No, I'm sorry. Like Ashley said, like I've said it, and like we've all been saying with this stuff, you cannot, under any circumstances, say, "Oh, this other team should be given an opportunity." If your defense sucks during those downs, you deserve to lose.
Yeah. Well, I guess since we're talking NFL, you want to go to NFL now?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. 2 things I want to get to. First thing, there was a report that came out today, not even a report, but apparently Brandon Jacobs. Now, I know people can sit there and go, him? Yes. The former Giants running back that was the Earth, Wind, and Fire for when the Giants had the trio running backs back in 2007.
Yes.
I think that was, because that was him. Oh, God, I'm trying to remember.
Ahmad Bradshaw.
Okay, but who was the last one?
Oh, shit. Who was the third one?
Wasn't it Derek Ward or something?
Some of that, yeah.
Yeah, I think Derek Ward and Brandon Jacobs.
And
were
Bradshaw.
2 main backs, I remember.
Yeah.
And who?
Bradshaw. Ahmad.
Ahmad Bradshaw, yeah.
Well, he sent out a tweet today, I guess because after the news came out about Tebow making the comeback, as he is now going to be the tight end / quarterback for Jacksonville. He sent a tweet out today directed to Giants and said, I want to come back, but I want to come back as a defensive end. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think realistically that could work? Even if he doesn't come back to the Giants, do you think Brandon Jacobs could come back to the NFL when, mind you, he hasn't played in, God, probably 5 years, if not more? Do you think he can? And actually, Kevin, thank you for looking that up. I think it's been at least 5 years or more since he's played last.
Looking that up currently as we speak. Keep talking.
Yeah, my thing is this though. Do you guys think he could make that comeback,
Well, to
learn
be
a new
fair,
position,
he's-
and be successful?
he's transitioned.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So he is going to be 39
Yes.
on July 6th this year. His last game that he played was for the New York Giants in 2013.
So yeah, it's almost been
And-
almost 10 years.
Yeah, so we're talking 8 years.
8 years.
I
Sorry, math is not.
honestly don't think it's going to be a success because you're having to switch positions. You haven't played the game in almost a decade, 8 years,
And the game has changed.
and the game has completely changed.
Yep. He also has to realize, he's not playing with Eli anymore.
No,
But yeah,
I think him sitting out this long is going to hinder him because, like you said, the game's changed, the teams have changed, the personnel has changed.
he's not
I think
younger.
He's not getting any younger. He's like you said, he's 39. He's what? You said 39?
He'll be turning 39 in July.
Yeah. He'll turn 39. That's not a good age to be coming back to football.
No.
Most players at the age of 39 are getting ready to retire. So
Why does he?
And then you have Tom Brady winning Super Bowls.
Why does he think
Yeah,
that he can switch positions from
Tom
running back
Brady.
to? Why does he think he can switch from running back to defensive player and said, "Oh, I can do that"? No, you can't just do that.
Okay, but let me ask
you
you this
just do
then.
that because it's a whole different ball game.
Okay, but
There's a
hold
difference.
on.
There's a difference between defending, offensive linemen from getting through, or the running back or whoever wide receivers from getting the ball to being on the offensive side. It's a complete whole switch. And how is he going to learn that in such a short amount of time? He's not.
But not even that.
And go ahead.
Not even that. You're saying before about how can Jacob switch from being a running back to a defensive end? How the hell can Tim Tebow switch from being a quarterback to a tight end?
Right, or from a tight end to a quarterback, and they drafted their quarterback in the draft this year. The guy that's supposed to be the future of the freaking franchise. Give me a break.
To me, I'm sorry. I think them bringing in Tebow is nothing. And I said the same thing when he signed with the Mets farm system a couple years ago. It's a money grab.
No. Not just that too, Johnny Cakes, but also remember that catastrophe, that clusterfuck of a year in 2012 when he went to the Jets?
Oh, yeah. You mean when
Brandon
Tebow?
Jacobs?
No.
Tim Tebow.
Oh,
Tebow.
Tebow. Yeah, no, when he went to the
Tebow
Jets. He also
Brady has a
played for the
right to the
Patriots in the
Jets.
preseason.
Yeah, but
Oh.
I mean, my thing is this: Tebow is nothing more than a
Dude,
money grab.
He is a huge distraction to any organization he goes
Hold on.
to.
If Jacksonville really wants to, why don't they go sign Brian Cage or Luchasaurus?
You know what? That might be a great idea because it might get Brian Cage a little bit more intensity when he actually goes into the ring and wrestles.
Because my thing is this: if Jacksonville is so big on, we want to get that money grabber, so we'll get fans at the stadium. Why not use the guys who reside in Jacksonville, who work for that company that's called, AEW?
The fact that Jacksonville thinks that having this guy around their football organization is a great thing, they should be ashamed of themselves.
Like, I'll put it to you this much: if they turned around and they brought in a veteran quarterback this year to help with, Trevor Lawrence, I would have said, okay, fine. You want the kid to learn, right? I am all for that.
Right.
But to
Right.
turn around and say, oh, well, the guy you're going to be learning from is going to be actually your tight end. You
And
can't.
not only that, but the fact that he thinks that he can switch from a quarterback to a tight end is crazy. I mean, he hasn't played in a while. And not only that, no offense, even when he was quarterback, he wasn't that good in the NFL. But now he was great in college because, yet again, like Kevin said, college is a different game. When you're in the professional leagues, it's a different game. It's grown-ass men that know what they're doing, that know how to defend you.
Steven, you make an interesting point, though. It's different. how many players, and we spoke about this when we were leading up to the NFL draft, how many players have we seen the experts like Mel Kiper and Todd McShay turn around and say, oh, these guys are going to be the next best thing in the NFL?
And it doesn't happen. And I'll transition back to players playing different positions, like Brandon Jacobs is talking about. Kevin, I'll bring this up to you as a Patriots fan. I know you remember this, my friend, when Troy Brown went from also not only playing wide receiver in 2004, but he also played cornerback that year because Asante Samuel went down with those injuries.
Yeah, that I would like to go and bring this up. That is a different situation than this. It's a player who was already on the team playing, and due to necessity of too many injuries on the secondary, Troy Brown had to go and play pretty much the rest of the year. As both a wide receiver and a cornerback,
which is fine.
But that again, it's kind of an apples to oranges because he was already playing, and it was more of a we got nothing else.
I know, but even then again,
works.
but I know it's like apples and oranges. I know it's not the same comparison, but he had to play both positions because of the injuries that they had that season. But he also had a great coach in Belichick helping him out. This is what you do and all that stuff, and hey, it all worked out.
Yeah.
Now,
my thing is
I would like to go and share a picture. And
I told you
here
to
it
save
is.
those pictures for off the air.
No, this is Tim Tebow right now in his 85 Jacksonville colors. I think the dude will be just fine.
Oh, yeah.
I really think he'll be just fine playing tight end. He looks yoked.
It's jacked beyond belief, man.
But my thing is this, though. He can look jacked all he wants. I don't care.
He hasn't played
really translate
in years.
That's my question, though, is being jacked and all that, is that going to translate from, I mean, you got to realize, I mean, Kevin, can you look up when Tebow's last NFL game was?
Certainly.
I mean, he hasn't played in a long time.
Yeah, and because he was with the Mets farm system for a number of years.
Well, it's not just his Mets years, but also look up his last game in the NFL, because I know he hasn't played in the NFL in years.
I mean, the only guy that comes to mind, there's only two players that come to mind who are able to make the transition from the baseball world to the football world. Actually, three technically.
Yep.
Or even from the baseball world to the basketball world. Michael Jordan.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
No. Finish your thought, and then I'll go.
Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, and Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Those are the only three players that come to mind that were able to make their transition. I mean, okay, we want to go back 100 years ago? Jim Thorpe.
Sure.
Is another example. That's four guys since what? The early 20s?
And if you want to go off of this one, then I'll tell you Tim Tebow's regular season stats. If you want to go off of that, you could say like, oh, well, Babe Ruth was able to play two different positions. You know, like Tim Tebow was going from quarterback to tight end.
Yeah.
Babe Ruth went and played pitcher, and then he was a hitter. But that's a different time in baseball that you're seeing again with Ohtani right now being a pitcher and a DH/outfielder. But it's still just a very odd and weird thing to have happen, you know, that all of a sudden Tim Tebow wants to come back. To answer your question from earlier, he was last employed by a team in 2015 that was the Philadelphia Eagles, but it was like off-season practice squad only. Then in, what did it say? It said 2013, I believe.
Probably with New England.
2013 with New England, but again, off-season or practice squad member.
Wait, so his last actual game was with the Jets?
Yes, his last actual game was with the Jets. He started 2 games and played in 12 that year. He was, get ready for this, barn burner of stats. 6 for 8, 39 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Good for an 84.9 quarterback rating, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
However, Denver, 2010, 2011, Not so good.
So
He
basically,
had 17 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. I mean, he just, with me, it was his mechanics that were the big problem. When I saw it. Hang on. Oh, I didn't
salute.
need that. Sorry. So it was his mechanics. I'd see him throw the ball. I gotta back up a little bit to do this. I'm throwing a ball. Pretend I have a football in my hand. And I'm throwing it. Him, it's like,
I just gotta say one thing, Kevin, because you have the background, you went to go throw it. It looked like you lost half your arm for a second.
oh, that happens.
But no, but
happens a
Kevin
lot.
has a point about his mechanics. His mechanics were not that great.
Okay, but hold on.
He
We're talking
looked like a wind-up toy that you play
Yes.
with as a little kid. The little wind-up monkeys that would, go walking around, or little wind-up robots. No, not that type of wind-up monkey. That's what currently resides in your head.
Let me tell you, that toy stopped working a long time ago.
And if it does work again, it might be doing this.
No, his
wow.
his
Shots
mechanics
are being fired tonight.
his mechanics were just not that great. He was so inconsistent. There were times where John Fox was wanting to make him a pocket quarterback, and I'm like, dude, no offense, he's not a pocket quarterback because the way he plays.
Okay, but Steve, you make an interesting point about the mechanics and how it can shorten somebody's career. Look at RG3.
Yes.
RG3 was somebody who everybody touted coming out of Baylor as being the next best thing. He came out in 2012, and what is he now? The backup in Baltimore?
Mm-hmm. And
Ezra, how you feeling there, buddy?
The backup.
My eyes are just itching really, really bad.
Oh, okay.
No, the dude is wrapped up. The dude's knees are wrapped up in so much athletic tape. Oh my goodness! I think they ran out of tape for the rest of the team, man.
But my thing is this though.
And I think on Baltimore, he's the backup to the backup because I think there's somebody ahead of him in the depth chart.
Oh, so he's the water boy.
I mean, I wasn't going to go and call him that.
My mama told me that alligators are angry because they don't have no toothbrush.
But yeah, but my thing is this though. You look at a lot of these quarterbacks. I mean,
Some high quality H2O.
Water sucks. Water.
Wow. Okay, guys, let's get back on track.
All right.
Let's get back on track here.
Yep.
We can have the after party, in a little bit. But my whole thing is this though. You look, and we talked about this a lot leading up to the NFL draft. Playing in college is one thing. Playing in the NFL is something different.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
when you look at guys like Tebow, when you look at guys like Brandon Jacobs, who haven't been on it and like we said earlier, practicing with a team is one thing. Actually being in an NFL game is a totally different aspect. And is Tebow going to be able to translate on the field? If Brandon Jacobs, you got to realize Brandon Jacobs probably won't be playing this year. If he does come back, it probably won't be till next season at this point, which means he's already going to be almost 40 years old. Is his body going to be able to withhandle those types of movements when we don't know how much practice he's really gotten in his time away from the NFL? Think about it. You don't play in the NFL for a number of years. And then also you get tackled by somebody who's coming at you who's 6'5", 330. Yeah. You're going to feel it the next day.
Look at Big Ben, the year that he went and said, after the season, I don't know if I can come back. I don't know if I want to come back anymore. And you see him come back, and it's just like, he kind of maybe he put himself in that mindset. Maybe on the other side of the spectrum, you got Tom Brady, who just is like, no, I could probably go to 50 now.
Okay, but here's another quarterback.
I don't want to stop playing. I could probably go forever.
We have another quarterback that was just actually mentioned to me. Brady Quinn.
Why are we mentioning him?
Talking about quarterbacks who Talking about quarterbacks who were highly touted coming out of college. And what is he now?
He's a college football analyst.
Exactly.
Marcus
think-
Russell.
But I mean, they're
Still
not
making more money
all
than all of
going
us
to be
put together.
great. You know, it's the same thing that I say every single draft year. When you draft a quarterback in the first round, they are not always going to pan out. You know, yeah, you're going to get your Peyton Mannings. But you're also going to get your Ryan Leaf. You're going to
Past
get your
guests on our
Andrew
show.
Luck, but you're going to get your RG3.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going to draft an Achilles Smith or a Sage Rosenfels, but then the last quarterback taken is a Tom Brady.
Exactly. And for every Tom, Dick, and Harry, you're gonna have, you're gonna have your studs, you're gonna have your mishaps here. But
Yeah.
Do we have anything else we want to get to?
I got one item I'd like to get to.
Go right ahead, floor yours.
It concerns our favorite boy, Aaron Rodgers.
Uh-oh.
You know,
Don't tell
as
Steven.
everybody knows, huh?
Don't tell Steven.
Shut up.
Yeah.
He
So,
may take his glasses off and start another rant.
well, no, we don't need to.
Uh-oh.
We don't need to, oh boy. We don't need to
shit.
go and rant about him. I just want to maybe put a take out there in the take verse, the take universe, whatever you want to call it. So, as we know, Aaron Rodgers on draft day went and said, all right, F this, I'm out. I don't want to play for the Packers anymore, and I'll retire or trade me somewhere. So, Green Bay hasn't traded him. Doesn't look like they're going to trade him at all. So, Aaron Rodgers really has no leg to stand on other than I'm just going to retire. So, with that said, he's not at OTAs this week. They're voluntary OTAs. You don't have to go to these ones. But the other interesting thing is Jordan Love's the quarterback, taking a lot of the first team reps, but he's playing with a ragtag bunch of receivers and tight ends because a lot of the receivers and tight ends, on Green Bay, like I always go and mess up his name. Valdez Scantling. I can't remember his first name. Devontae Adams. Just go down the list. None of them are there too. So the take I want to put out in the universe is Rodgers' poison that is his I don't want to play for the Packers anymore. Is that infecting the rest of the team, perhaps, especially the first team guys? If Rodgers maybe decide, hey, I don't want you guys playing with Jordan Love because I want to stick to the Packers. I want to stick with the Packers front office, so don't go to OTAs. I'm not going either. I'm going to go and play in Hawaii and, basically piss all over Darius Rucker's leg and ruin Wagon Wheel. That ring any bells, John?
Really?
You're talking about
really.
You're talking about Aaron Rodgers and the way he's acting right now, dude.
Yeah.
I actually think you're onto something, Kevin. Because if I'm the first team guys, and all those receivers and and the tight ends and all that stuff and the running backs and offensive linemen, I would be totally affected by the way my quarterback is acting, especially if it's my star quarterback, because that's making you go, oh, I really don't care, because this guy's talking about how he wants to get out of Green Bay, because that right there is affecting the entire team.
No, it definitely is, and now me being, every once in a while I can get petty. But the pettiness to me would be like, okay, all right, Aaron, you want to go and maybe tell all these people to stay home? Don't go to OTAs, do your own thing. I'm going to Hawaii with my fiance and ruining songs. Because who in their friend group just goes and pulls out a guitar and starts singing along to a song? Like, that's dumb. We're all just talking. Don't go and do that, Pardo. So, on the Packers front office, and yeah, you know what? Let's go and trade them. Ring up the phone. Hey, Jacksonville. You want Rodgers? We just need a 7th round pick from you. Imagine the controversy of a greatest quarterback of all time in Aaron Rodgers being traded away for a 7th round pick. And he's only the greatest quarterback because what? He threw a couple of Hail Marys. Those are crapshoot plays anyway. That's why it's called a Hail Mary. Or he won a Super Bowl in convincing fashion. No, he didn't win the Super Bowl in convincing fashion. Half his receivers drop the ball every time they try to go and catch the ball. And Pittsburgh's defense just sucked that year. And
Not
he
only
only
that,
won one. Every other opportunity that Aaron Rodgers has had to go to another Super Bowl or to go and win more, whenever he's lost, it's always everybody else's fault. Never Aaron Rodgers' fault.
oh no,
It
it's
just
not
it's
my
it's
fault.
a my shit don't stink.
Right. And it's like, I'll say this to you right now. If Patrick Mahomes does not get back to a Super Bowl because of the competition in the AFC, and even if it doesn't make it to another AFC championship game, that's fine because the competition can get tough. Let me look at Brett Favre. Brett Favre only went to one more NFC championship game, or excuse me, two, but he didn't, he didn't have the luxury of Aaron Rodgers going to a few more games, championship games, and having those opportunities. Favre had competition. Come on. Rodgers is supposed to be the most talented quarterback in his division and in the NFC. And the fact that this guy throws every single shot against his teammates, it's their fault, not my fault. Dude, you're a part of the team. You have a reasoning for your team's defeats.
Plain and simple, he doesn't take responsibility for his own actions.
No, he doesn't.
I said it on my 2 rants about this guy. This guy doesn't own up to his responsibilities. He sits there and he blames the head coaches. It doesn't matter if Matt LaFleur is the coach or Mike McCarthy was the coach a couple, several years ago, and was in those couple of NFC championship games as his head coach. The fact that he throws everybody under the bus for their performances, it is ridiculous. And also, I always laugh about this one. When the New York Giants beat the piss out of Green Bay in 2011, he blamed everybody but himself because he had a hand in that loss as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, believe me, I've been on this show before 100 times, and I've said Aaron Rodgers to me is nothing more than a prima donna.
He reminds me of LeBron at times.
I mean, let's call a spade here. He'll probably be one of the people to take over for Jeopardy.
Oh,
no.
I'll go on and say this right now. He does not deserve or has the right to be stepping into the shoes of one of the greatest game show hosts that ever lived, in Alex Trebek for Jeopardy. No, if anybody has the ability to be the host of Jeopardy, it's Ken Jennings. For number one, Ken Jennings is one smart dude. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is not smart, but Aaron Rodgers does not deserve to be put as the host of Jeopardy.
There are 2 people for me that would be the host for Jeopardy. Aaron Rodgers is not on that list. Steven, you mentioned the first one, Ken Jennings. The second one, LeVar Burton.
Yes.
The old Reading Rainbow host. Because he was a very smart individual. I like LeVar Burton, and I think that he would be a great host of Jeopardy. But I've said it since I found out the very sad day that Alex Trebek passed. It's Ken Jennings to lose. I really think that Ken Jennings is going to be the next Jeopardy host. And they're doing all these guest ones because everybody knows it's going to be Ken Jennings. So you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun before we just finally say, here you go.
I mean, that could give Ryan Seacrest another show?
Permanent host, Ken Jennings.
I mean, that could give Ryan
I don't want to
Seacrest
hear
another
Ryan Seacrest say, "This is Jeopardy,"
No.
or Seacrest out at the end of it.
No.
Because if he says that, I'm going to stick a pin needle right through both my eardrums.
So
okay, terrific.
I really haven't watched a ton of Jeopardy. I watched Aaron Rodgers the first night, and the guy comes across as being incredibly dull. Not dull like stupid, but just like
personality-wise.
So the answer is blah 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 blah.
So basically,
I'm
what
like,
you're saying,
oh God,
Kevin,
this is going to be a long half hour.
So what you're saying is he has no personality when he's hosting Jeopardy, which you're absolutely 110% correct.
Yeah. You know, Alex Trebek, did he come across at times as being a little, like mundane? Yeah, of course, we all do. But he had a certain flair about him. And it's
I'll take-
also always funny. Look this
I'll
up
take-
on YouTube, folks, later after the show. Look up some of the bloopers of Alex Trebek. That dude's got a sailor's mouth.
Oh yeah.
I'll take people who have a dull personality for 500, Alex.
This quarterback blames everybody but himself.
What is Aaron Rodgers?
Correct.
And of course, whenever I think of Jeopardy, I have to think of SNL's version of Celebrity Jeopardy with Sean Connery going, "I'll take the tits now for 200, Alex." That's Let It Snow, Sean.
I always think of Rock and Roll Jeopardy, where Dave Mustaine was schooling everybody on Elton John and everything else, and George Clinton and Guido Zappa couldn't do shit about it. But I think that's it on my end on the football. Anybody else got anything?
No, I have. Anybody else have anything else they want to get to before we,
Call it a night.
get to final thoughts?
That's it for me.
Anything in UFC, Ezra?
Really, outside of a couple fight results, it's been a very, very quiet day. I know coming up there's going to be I know probably Hijacker will cover it eventually whenever his next Nation Night fights will drop, but I know that Anderson Silva is competing in a boxing match against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Yes, I did see that.
While in the co-main event, his father, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., will be competing as well. So, outside of that, really, if I took a quick look on MMAJunkie.com, really outside of that, there hasn't been much in the way of big news. So, really not much MMA.
I know they do have their pay-per-view coming up in a few weeks for UFC 263.
Oh yeah, that should be a huge. That should be a huge card, man. These UFC pay-per-views, man, they've been putting on some.
They've had two sellouts. One in Houston, and then they had obviously the other one in Florida. So this will be probably a sellout as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Israel Adesanya, who's 20-1, is going to take on Marvin Vettori, who is 17-4-1. So that's going to be a hell of a fight. And also the welterweight fight that everyone's been waiting to see: Leon Edwards versus the returning Nate Diaz.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
Is Nate Diaz going to be high?
Oh man,
After the fight, he probably will be winning.
Owen Diaz, man, that dude, he is going to be laser focused, man. That dude is a badass.
That's it, pretty much on MMA world for me.
All right.
Let's get to these final thoughts and that huge kaboom. That
Yeah. Yep. I mean, Kevin, do you have anything you want to get into? Okay.
I'm pretty square. For those keeping score at home, it's 3-2, Montreal or Toronto currently, and puck drop will be 9:45 with Carolina at Nashville.
All right.
Steven, what about you? Do you have anything else you want to bring up?
I think I am good. I just wanted to say another great show tonight, and it's always fun talking sports and covering the world of sports. NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, UFC, you name it, we cover it.
Absolutely. Well, guys,
Quick little thing. Toronto just tied the game up. There's about 8 minutes to go in the third period.
Here we go.
All right.
It's gonna be good.
I hope we get free hockey.
I'm gonna request to go last on final thoughts because of the announcement that I will be making that we have been teasing for the better part of the last week.
Ooh.
And Steven, I'll let you go first on final thoughts. Take it away.
We'll go back to Jerry Springer's final
thoughts. Again, great show. Talking about sports and this Aaron Rodgers saga. It never seems to end, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It just doesn't. And the playoffs are looking really well for the NBA and NHL right now. And it's a perfect time to be a sports fan, because being fans of hockey and basketball, it is a perfect time. The fact that playoffs are here, it's winner take all, go home, all the marbles are on the table. Let's go.
Absolutely. Kevin, what about you? Final thoughts?
So final thought from me tonight. It just this past year plus, with everything that's going on, between COVID, between rioting, U.S. elections, worldwide global pandemic, it's really gone and shown a lot of good in people, but it's also shown a lot of bad in people, and I want to rely on the good. I want people to feel good. I want people to be good to one another, having, I make no bones about it. I'm fully vaccinated, go get the vaccine. I joke around saying, that I have the best cell phone service ever, but really I don't. I have the same cell phone service I had before the vaccine. All I am is I'm a little bit more protected from it, and I lost a grandfather to it. I've got friends and colleagues who have lost family to COVID. We just all need to be better. We all need to play nice with each other. It's been a long time, that we've all kind of sat down, talked with each other, and been able to be civil and cordial.
And not just that, but to add to that, as far as people going to the sporting events and all these events now that things are opening up again, guys, like we said about being respectful, be respectful to your fellow brother and sister. Like Tony said in the chat early on today, great comment what he said. You figured at an early age, you were taught how to be as a human being to society. It doesn't matter what race you are, what religion you believe in, and all that stuff, what your politics are. It doesn't matter. Be respectful to your fellow brother and sister, because in the long term, as far as that goes, you will be respected in the long run. People will think highly of you. Be respectful to your fellow man and sister. And the fact that these people are going to sporting events now and they're forgetting how to be respectful to these athletes. Just because you have enough money to go to these games doesn't mean you got to act like a prima donna.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So I'll finish up my final thought by saying, be good to everybody. And just remember, folks, respectful people get what they want. Disrespectful people get what they deserve.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Ezra, what about you?
I have nothing. Oh, yes, I do. No, but seriously, it's what a hell of a show. I can't say enough about this show. It was really fun, really exciting. I think one of the best shows we had so far. It's just because of the natural chemistry we all have with each other. I think it fits so well because our personalities mesh and our love for sports and even pro wrestling outside of the sports world meshes. So I think that's what creates the bond that we all have with the show and makes it a success that it's been, whether it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 of us, it don't matter. We put this thing together, we're kicking ass and taking names, and that's the whole point of doing this show. And we're doing a hell of a job. And, you talk about the pandemic, we've been cooped up in our homes outside of going to work or the store to grab a bite to eat for almost over a year and a half now. Almost a year and a half now. And, concerts are finally coming around. Places are opening back up. Restaurants are opening up to full capacity. People are finally going back to work. It seems like there's a sense of normalcy going on right now. We need to keep that going, like Kevin said, wearing masks, social distancing, even even if you have the vaccine, be smart, be careful, because even though you have it, it's not a 100% layer of protection that you're not going to get it again. There's people right now who have the vaccine that have been reinfected. So just keep that in mind. This is a vaccine, not a cure. I don't want to get too much into it, but that's just something I want to relay, because I know people want to go to concerts and people want to go to wrestling events and hang out with people, but you just got to be smart. Hang out with people who are vaccinated. And if you have people who are not vaccinated, wear a mask around them so that you're safe as well.
Absolutely.
But it's just I love that. I love that everything's coming back. Wrestling events are coming back. You know, AEW All Out was just announced for Chicago today, and I'm beyond excited. I'm going to my first concert since June of 2019. I'm going to my first wrestling show since February of 2020 next month. So, you know, it's all about, you know, getting back to a sense of normalcy, and I can't wait. And hopefully one day, maybe we could do the show live together, all be in the same room, sitting around a table, and us debating this stuff live. Imagine that.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
something we definitely got to aspire for. I saw Up, Up, Down, Down for the first time ever play their Uno game, and it's the first time that Xavier Woods, Adam Cole, Tyler Breeze, and Cesaro have all been in the same room together, ever. And they started playing that game since the beginning of the pandemic, and they finally got to
Absolutely.
play it together at the Thunderdome. Now imagine us in Baltimore or even in New York, Chicago, no matter. We all get together, we all set up the camera or the laptop, we all sit there and we debate sports for 2 hours like we do tonight.
Yes.
We're shoulder to shoulder, getting on each other's case, bitching about our teams, and just having a good old time. That's something that I'm going to aspire for, and I know the rest of us should too.
And
It's
just to add what Ezra was also saying too, as far as with me concerned this year, I'm so excited because on June the 15th, I'll be going to my first concert since Raleigh of 2019 when I saw Tool. I'll be going to see Dirty Honey at a club in Johnson City, Tennessee. That should be really fun. And then you got the Baltimore Festival happening in October, and then in November with WrestleCade at Winston-Salem. I mean, things are looking up for the world, man, and just, you know, stay positive, be good to people.
don't forget about October, Baltimore Celeb Fest too.
Yeah,
Yep. I think this year is going to be one of those years. It's going to be a hell of a year.
absolutely. But
Johnny,
guys,
the floor is yours, buddy. Take it from here.
all right, guys, like I asked before, let me just have you guys can come back on, but let me just have this one moment here. I have always inspired to wanting to do a show. And after the award show last December, Joe, who you've heard on the show many times, gave me the green light and basically told me, go ahead, go do it. I'm letting you run it. You do it however you want to do it. And it's been blessed. I mean, with Steven's help, Ezra's help, Kevin's help, and a lot of other people I'll get to in a second. I bring this all up because tonight, unfortunately, is going to be my last show. Now, this was not a decision. This decision was not easy to make, but unfortunately, this was a decision that had to be done. I am not walking away because of anybody specific. I'm basically walking away because I'm at a turning point right now in my life. And there's been a lot of changes. First, I'm going to mention specific people here of who I want to thank. First, I want to go to Steven. Steven, you were one of the first people who jumped on board with this whole show. You were there when we interviewed Danielle McCartan back in February, when the show was nothing. And I know you and I, we've had our differences, we've had our things, but realistically, you've been there. You've been the one who has done the intros. You've been the one who has put together a lot of the stuff you've heard on the show. So I will always appreciate you for that, brother. Kevin, you were somebody who used to listen to us, and then you hopped on with us. And I was one who coined you Statman. You have been an incredible contribution to the team. Ezra, you were in the same boat like Kevin. You were listening, and we decided when we were doing the AL Central that we wanted to bring you on, and you've been a part of the show ever since. You even have your own segment now. I want to thank Ashley as well for the couple of times she's been on. I know she has been a huge supporter of the show from day one. Also want to thank Carl. And I understand, there's been some stuff regarding him, but he was a mega part of this show. I also want to thank Joe for giving me the opportunity to run with this, giving me the opportunity to run my own show. Did I ever think, because of the pandemic, that I would be starting my own show, running my own YouTube, social media, Twitter, all that? No, I never thought that. But I think the key thing is this. I did this all my way. I've been doing this stuff. I'm going to pull back the curtain here for a little bit. I've been doing this stuff now for over 10 years, between hosting, podcasting, and all that. I've learned from listening to radio, from listening to Busted Open, from listening to WFAN, from Opie and Anthony, Howard Stern. That's how I've learned how to do this stuff. And that's also why this decision was so difficult to make. But that's why I'm going to repeat it again. Tonight is my final show. So guys, if you guys want to come back on, you're more than welcome.
No, just thank you, for what you've done, for this show, and helping, get this off the ground. And even though tonight is your last show, my friend, we are going to step in and we're going to continue this show because we love doing what we do, and that's talking sports.
Absolutely, positively.
Because I told you Monday, I said, I said Thursday might be your last show for now, but no, we're going to continue this because this is fun, talking sports and shooting the shit about sports and NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, UFC, everything.
Oh,
Oh my God.
You are such an ass, Kevin.
That's terrible.
Kevin, you're a good actor. Oh, great. Kevin,
We wish you the best in your future endeavors, John. We really do.
wow. No, but in all seriousness now,
Wow.
great send up.
Legolas.
No, but in all seriousness though, the three of you, the four of us being on, guys, I couldn't have asked for a better team to get this show off the ground. I also want to send a thanks. Not only I mentioned Ashley, I mentioned Joe, but I also forgot a few other people. And those are the people who have been in the YouTube chats. Kevin, your friends have been a great addition to the YouTube chat. Sam in Cleveland, he was on the show when we did our draft. He's been a great addition. Tony, I know we pick on you about your Dallas Cowboys and that the only proof you still have of them winning a Super Bowl is you have to go to Blockbuster to get it off a VHS tape. But I appreciate it.
Blockbusters are all gone.
No, there's still some.
You know what? It's just like to get Dallas Cowboys playoff homes.
Okay. Todd, I appreciate all of the comments, but yeah, guys, I know you guys knew about this decision a couple of days ago.
Oh, yeah.
And again, like I said in my speech here, this wasn't an easy decision. I'll completely be honest with you guys right now. My nerves were shot the entire day today. Because up until probably about an hour ago, I had no idea what I was even going to say. And I'm going to miss this. But I will tell you guys right now, I may not be on screen anymore. I'm going to leave the show in your hands, the three of you. God. But you guys know I will always support you guys. You guys know I will always have your backs. And you guys know I will always be there.
Absolutely.
So I have nothing else to say because if I say something else, I'm going to start tearing up.
Oh, like I did earlier?
So,
You're never gonna go away, John. You're just like crabs.
thanks,
Just
Ezra.
remember, you can suppress it, but you can't stop it.
Ezra, thanks. I appreciate that a lot, buddy.
And once again, this will always live on in infamy with this show. Cam Newton will go to the New York Giants eventually.
And that'll be the show that John returns and just absolutely goes ballistic. He will curse us. He will curse us into puddles of goo, and he'll throw water bottles like Bully Ray throws napkins.
But guys, I think it's time we call the show a wrap for tonight.
Yep.
Again, if you're just joining and you missed the announcement, this is my final show. And how else, what better way to end the show tonight than to not have the damn thing up ready to go? If I go out, I got to go out like I usually do. But for Steven, for Ezra, for Kevin, for everybody who's been a part of the show from day one, Joe, Ashley, Carl, Sam in Cleveland, everybody on YouTube, Tony, Todd, all of Kevin's friends, I am forever grateful for every one of you for taking this show.
Sorry we don't remember your name. Sorry he doesn't remember your names. It's not that important.
Can I finish my point, Ezra?
Yes, please. Go ahead. That was my last insult.
For taking this idea that Steven remembers how many times I pitched this idea to Joe. And it was a lot. But I couldn't ask for a better team. And let me just make sure everything is set and ready to go on that end. Come on, hold on.
I think this is when they play the music at the Oscars to tell them to get off the stage.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to set up right now. Thanks. But okay, I just want to make sure. Oh, come on.
This episode of Delayed Ending is brought to you by Squealers, the new book from Tony Robbins.
All right. But again, for Steven, for Ezra, for Kevin, for Ashley, for Carl, for Joe, this is John signing off for the last time. In the words of Billy Joel, life's a set of hellos and goodbyes. Unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye. The guys will see you guys next week. I will see you guys sometime down the road.
Peace.
Peace out, your mutt. Stay hot.
Take care, brush your hair.
Turn me up.